sorts out on like starts showing up on the actual page. It's probably going to be on like a delay, so.
I want to check to see if I still have echo. I think I only got it from Nobilis because I think you're the only one that still can hear you.
Not getting an echo anymore.
Perfect.
Yeah, I don't hear any echo.
Awesome.
All right. Okay. The stream is definitely working, and what's a little bit weird is that it shows whatever Chrome tab I have open. So if I click over to see that it's working, it changes the stream to the image of me seeing whether the stream is working or not. So, but I think that we've got I think that we've got this set so that it'll work, and I can continue to try to maybe tweak that so that I would be able to do things like check the Twitch chat without changing the whole Twitch video to me checking the Twitch chat.
Are we on the internet?
We theoretically are. According to my software and everything, it should be working. So, please, if any of you, end up watching this on Twitch, and probably no one is watching it yet because we only just started the stream and we're starting it late anyway, you can say in the chat if something's not working right, but this is all an experiment anyway. So, here we are. Let's not delay any further. What we're going to do today is play some Dungeons and Dragons, specifically The Curse of Strahd. Then, like what? Like a sound of bats? I don't have a sound effect, but so here's you have to remember what we're doing. Right? Okay. All right. So. I'm a little bit flustered just due to last-second technical issues, but here's the plan. We can just briefly introduce you guys as players, and then we'll do a character introduction in just a moment as part of getting the story started. So, first, in the little bunny in the teacup picture, because she doesn't have a webcam, we have my very good friend, Liberdad.
Hello.
We have Mark Kilfoyle.
Hello.
Nobilis Reed.
Hi there.
Nutty Nookchas.
Hello.
And Tim Dodge.
Hello.
And I am Christiana Ellis, and I will be the Dungeon Master for this adventure, and hopefully it will work. I've played around with Roll20 a little bit, but I've never tried streaming it before, so hopefully this will not be terrible. Just clicking over just for a second. Yeah, okay. Okay. So we have someone in Twitch chat, but it's this
that's
awkward
me checking
thing.
it out.
Oh, okay. Well, no, was you our Mother Dragon? Someone typed something in Twitch chat that says, "Oh, playing D&D, is this a thing now?" So.
Oh no,
yes,
that's not me.
It is a thing, or at least I'm attempting to make it a thing. So here's the plan. I hope that everyone can hear me, and I need to figure out a way to be able to look at the chat without it doing that. But, oh, you know what? I think I have a way. Let's see.
Episode 1, Technical Issues.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I can have, yeah, so that works, but let's see. I don't know if, this is, yeah, I think it's still going to use whatever my tab is that's open, so that's not going to work. I'm going to have to just periodically to check. Yeah, actually, that would be really handy if someone is able to monitor.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to monitor it from my phone.
Yeah. Okay. Great. So here's the we're going to start the module then. All right. So first, thanks to Tabletop Audio, we've got some ambiances. Let me know if, well, you know what? Can you guys hear that?
Yes.
Awesome. I can make it a little bit
I discovered Tabletop Audio a few weeks ago. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's really cool. And free with attribution, as long as it's a non-profit stream, which this is. So, All right, cool.
Very nice.
All right, so here's how we begin. Oh, you know what? First, I almost forgot that I wanted to do this is kind of how we are beginning also, but okay. Oh, that was someone getting a text message. I know who.
Sorry.
That's all right.
Medieval texting.
Okay, so
Muting my phone.
the first thing that we're actually going to do is have you all roll for a Gothic trinket. You're going to roll a D100, and I'm going to tell you what this trinket is. But this is going to be something that your character has had for a long time and maybe came into their life in some sort of slightly mysterious way. And there's something about it that has made you hold on to it all this time.
I
And so,
already rolled for mine.
okay, well, if you want, you can use that. And but the idea is anyone who hasn't already rolled for it will roll for it now, and I'll say what it is, and then you explain to everybody else what it is and what it means to you, and so on.
Okay.
Does that work for everybody?
Sure.
So if you rolled already, what is yours? What is yours, Nobilis?
Mine is the porcelain head of a doll, that whose eyes open and close depending on how they're tilted.
Mm-hmm.
But that's broken, and only one of the eyes actually opens and closes, so it doesn't blink; it winks. And it belonged to a sibling who was snatched from our home one dark night and has disappeared. And the memory of that sibling haunts my character, and I simultaneously hope and fear that I might find them someday.
Aha. Very nice.
One interruption. Are you looking at the Twitch screen at the moment, Christiana?
Right now, I am not.
Okay, that's what's still showing.
Oh, interesting. Okay, let me. That's very. I appreciate that. So let me fix that.
And while you're fixing that, Mother Dragon likes the special effects.
Okay, great. I appreciate that. Let's see if I can't. There we go. Oh, interesting. Trying to make. I removed the wrong thing. There we go. Okay, now I should be able to add the Hangout back in. Oops, that's escape. Okay, we're getting there. Once I have this all set, it'll be perfect. It'll be
right,
perfect
we're
for 10 minutes.
The roll.
Easily.
Yeah. Okay.
It's like every role-playing game I've ever been in. It's perfect for 10 minutes, then all hell breaks loose.
Okay. So as soon as it catches up, then it should now be showing the Curse of Strahd window with me holding the little Gothic trinkets table up and the Hangout in the bottom.
Yep.
Great. Okay. So
Although the Hangout just disappeared.
is it still disappeared?
Yep.
So is
Probably
it?
'cause it's not your active window.
But that's not how it's supposed to work.
I don't
Okay.
know.
All right. Oh God.
I like our little trinkets there, though. That's kind of
Yeah.
cool.
Okay. So
Now we're back.
okay, it should be back now. I think I just minimized the Hangout instead of clicking the Roll20 to be ahead of
Okay.
it. So okay. All right. I think we've got it. Thank you for monitoring that. So, Tim, your character Julius has let's see, rolled a 79.
Yep.
You have a mummified Ravenclaw.
Really?
Yeah. How did you end up with this mummified Ravenclaw, and what does it mean to you? Why have you hung on to it?
It is a reminder of home. It was something that belonged to my grandfather, and he was something of a legend in the family. I barely knew him, but the mummified Ravenclaw is a symbol of his power, and so I hold on to it for good fortune and for his protection.
Great. All Right. Lee, your character Honor has a tiny clockwork figurine of a dancer, but it's missing a gear and it doesn't work.
Okay, that was my mother's.
Yeah.
It was pretty much the only thing that she got to take with her when she fled home when she found out she was pregnant with me.
Oh.
But in her travels, that gear evidently went missing. It's never worked, but it's kind of a reminder of my mother after she died.
Very nice. All right, Mark, your character, Periwinkle Perry Peartree, he has a wig that came from someone who was executed by beheading.
Jeez. Well. This wig belonged to the lord of the land, who decided to break in on my little store, my little pub, and eventually received his just desserts. And so I keep it as a little reminder that little people can do big things.
Very nice. All right, and last but not least, Nutty, your character, Shadow, has a little black book that records your dreams, and yours alone when you sleep.
I should turn my mic back on.
Okay.
I'm responding and no one's answering. Ooh. So it records my dreams while I sleep. This was bestowed to me by my people, believing that my dreams would be prophetic. They didn't want to lose any pearls of wisdom.
Very nice. All right, so here's where we find ourselves, everybody. Not too long ago, not too far away from where you are now, a bunch of goblins invaded a small town. They had been apparently chased out of their hideout by something bigger and stronger and were looking for new digs. And obviously that didn't sit well with the people who already lived in this particular town. And the goblins weren't so much dangerous as they were numerous. So the call went out for adventurers to come and chase them away. But so many people showed up to fight some goblins, which sounded easy and lucrative, that there was lots of help available. And so it wasn't too much dangerous. It wasn't too dangerous. You each got a little fighting in, but not too hard. Unfortunately, though, with so many people, the reward money got split a lot of ways, and it wasn't really as much as you were hoping for. Once the goblins were gone, successfully chased away, this ragtag force kind of split up and went their separate ways. But the five of you that were part of this ragtag assembly all ended up staying at this one little tavern for the evening. You maybe didn't know each other before this whole little effort, but you became familiar in passing with each other during this whole little effort. So you are, the five of you, Shadow, a wood elf druid who fought with spells and her ability to transform into various animals. You are Jazric, the human ranger, who waded into battle with a spear, and where others would wound, Jazric often dealt the final blow. Julius, an otherworldly, handsome young man, human, who attempted to get the goblins to leave peacefully, and even succeeded with a few before combat began. In Honor, the young female tiefling ranger who harried foes with her wolf companion Anubis, and then picked off her enemies with a heavy crossbow. And last but not least, Periwinkle Peartree, the halfling cleric who dished out both healing magic and tasty battle snacks, always with a smile. And you are currently gathered around this small tavern's largest table, spending the evening with some more stories of the goblin skirmish. So why don't each of you now take a moment to recall your favorite moment of that battle, specifically something that one of your fellow party members did in the battle. And I can call on you in order if you like, and if we don't have many volunteers.
Is there a list of all the character names? Something centralized. I was trying to jot it down, but I didn't quite get all of it.
Yeah, so I think actually one thing that would be helpful is if in Roll20, if you guys can if you go to the settings menu and the display name, if you change the display name to your character name, it'll have all of them show up there. But to reiterate, we have Nobilis is playing Jasric, we have Mark is playing Perry, Nutty is playing Shadow, Tim is playing Julius, and Lee is playing Honor with her wolf Anubis. And on the screen here we have the
my memory is when I charged into the middle of the fight, seeking out the goblin chieftain because I knew that the goblins would run if we took out their leader. He turned out to be a bit more of a match for me than I expected, and it was Honor's wolf that came to my rescue and distracted it long enough for me to get away and heal myself.
Good.
Everybody liked Honor's wolf, didn't they? Sadly, Honor's wolf was a little startled when I transformed into my bear form. He started to run away, but a couple of little nuzzles at the end. I think we're starting to form a friendship.
There you go. Very nice.
Well, what would have been my favorite part was when I thought I was actually going to broker a peace with all the goblins. And then when that started to disintegrate, I very much appreciated Jasric charging in and trying to at least assure victory since peace wasn't possible.
And let's see. Did we get one from you, Mark?
No, I was still clicking buttons. And
okay.
Yeah.
And also trying to remember people.
Sure.
So I'm kind of scattered as usual. I think the thing that I remember the most, to be honest, is the smiles I was able to bring to everyone in the very depths of the battle. People were down. People had wounds that were terrible. And I was able to go and mend a few of them here and there, give them a snack, give them something to hold on to. I wasn't originally going to come after all. I'm not fond of big battles after all, but Julius said it would be good, so I'll follow where Julius goes, no doubt.
All right. So, as you're all hanging out in this tavern, to a party of seasoned adventurers such as yourselves, what you see is but another dull tavern in another dull town in some nameless province. It is but another span of time between the challenges of true adventuring. Outside the tavern, a fog lies over the town this evening. The damp, cobbled pavement glistens as the light of street lanterns dance across the slick stones. The fog chills the bones and shivers the soul of anyone outside. Yet inside these tavern walls, the food is hearty, and the ale is warm and frothy. A fire blazes in the hearth, and the tavern is alive with the tumbling voices of country folk. Suddenly, the tavern door swings open, and a hush falls over the room. Framed by the lamp-lit fog, a form strides through the doorway. His heavy booted footfalls and the jingle of his coins shatter the silence. That didn't fade out like I was hoping. Shattered the silence. His brightly colored clothes are draped in loose folds about him, and his hat hangs askew, hiding his eyes in the shadows. Without hesitation, he walks up to your table and stands proudly in a wide stance with folded arms. And I'm going to give you a handout to show you what he looks like. So if you look in your journal, you should have a new handout. It's called Handout Aragal.
Mm-hmm.
How tall is he?
Tall.
Okay.
Like human size, but tall.
He's a handsome young fella.
He looks a bit like Littlefinger with longer hair.
In an accented voice, he says, I have been sent to you to deliver this message. If you be creatures of honor, you will come to my master's aid at first light. It is not advisable to travel the Svalich woods at night. He pulls from his tunic a sealed letter addressed to all of you in beautiful flowing script. He drops the letter on the table. Take the west road from here, some 5 hours' march down through the Svalich woods. There you will find my master in Barovia. Amid the silent stares of the patronage, the gypsy strides to the bar and says to the wary barkeep, Fill the glasses, one and all. Their throats are obviously parched. He drops a purse heavy with gold on the bar, and with that, he moves to leave.
Hang on there, big fella. Come back here for a bit. Nighttime is the right time. Why don't you sit with us and share a drink? Tell us of your master.
The babble of the tavern voices resumes as he has paid for new drinks for everyone. The letter is still lying on the table before you. He does hesitate and turn back to you and just say, I'm afraid I cannot stay. I have much business to attend to for my master, but you should come. He does need your help. You obviously seem like capable individuals.
Oh, what help is asked for, help can be given. What did you say your name was, friend?
I am Erigal.
Erigal. Well, met. I'm Perry. Now, you won't have a meal, you won't have a seat. Will we meet you again along the road, then?
Ah, yes, if you come to Barovia, it's a beautiful land of forests and mountains. Come to the aid of my employer, Burgomaster Kolyan Indirovich, in the town of Barovia, and you will see me again there.
And one more word of you. Just a minute here. Now, you said 5 hours march.
Indeed.
Now, I know you're a tall fella. I'm not so tall myself. Is it 5 hours, or is it really a little bit longer for someone who's a little bit shorter?
It is some 15 miles.
Oh, that's a better estimate. I do appreciate it.
No problem. Are you then prepared to come to my master's aid?
What say, Julius?
Let's hear what his master has to say.
We'll talk.
If all of the folks from, I'm sorry, where did you say you were from?
Barovia.
Yeah.
Barovia are like you. How could we resist such an invitation?
Clearly, you cannot. But now I must go. The letter will explain, and I hope to see you again. And he nods at all of you and then makes his way to leave again. And I'm going
Very
to...
definition of a mysterious stranger, don't you think?
And I'm giving you another handout in your journal that is this letter that you found. It's in kind of aged-looking heavy parchment, but the script flowing on it is very beautiful. Like it's well, it's someone has good handwriting basically, and it has a crest on it. That I'm just realizing that I wish the handout didn't have the label on it that says because the fact that the crest says Strahd's crest is not what the little hook says to tell you. But that's fine. So yes, that's the crest that is on the letter, on the seal, rather. And then the other handout is the contents of the letter if someone wants to read it. There's obviously the flowing script, the image of it, but it has just plain text of it below.
You say it's addressed to all of us?
It is.
By name?
Mm-hmm.
Well, look at that. My name's never looked quite so nice in these lovely letters. If you don't mind, I'll go ahead and read it to the rest of you. I think you all can read, but I'm not sure.
I think
Hail
your
to the
voice
ev-
matches the script there, Perry.
That's a very nice thing for you to say there. Let me see. Hail to thee of might and valor. It may not have been referring to me in this part. I, a lowly servant of Barovia, an honor to thee. We plead for thy so desperately need. No, so yes, we plead for thy so desperately needed assistance. Love of my life, Irina Kolyana, has been afflicted by an evil so deadly that even the good people of our village cannot protect her. Oh my. She languishes from her wound, and I would have her saved from this menace. Oh, that's terrible. There is much wealth in the community. I offer all that might be had to thee and thy fellows, if thou shalt but answer my desperate plea. Come quickly, for her time is at hand. All that I have shall be thine, Kolyan Indirovich, Burgomaster. Oh, that sounds terrible.
A quest for true love. How can
Well, love is a good motivation, but is this wound that cannot heal? I've never heard of such a thing.
I wonder what the nature of this evil is.
Yes. And why is he not sending for a healer? Why is he sending for warriors instead of
Well,
mages and sorcerers and someone who might have a chance at healing the wound?
Well, I may be small of stature, but I stand in the light of the thunder. I can heal, but with a wound that cannot be healed by some evil force, that's a little bit bigger than I've usually gone after.
I would like to make an intelligence check to see if I know of a particular variety of thing that creates wounds that don't heal.
Yeah. All right. Well, so because you can make that because you have particular background.
Okay.
So yeah, make a make an Arcana roll.
Okay.
Let's see. Oops. That's a 13. You know that lots of things could potentially cause that. You also don't necessarily know. They say it doesn't heal, but you don't really know the details. You would probably need to know more to be able to make any specific prediction. But certainly, wounds that don't ever heal sounds like a magic thing that some supernatural creatures can do.
Okay.
It might be an infection or some problem of the blood. It happens from time to time. I've heard of such things. Not treated them, but maybe we can do some nice for someone who has a bit of coin that we can then do nice for other people for. Was all this business about leaving not until morning, though? It sounds pretty important.
You fellows know me. You know I like the nighttime. I'm fine with leaving now, but something tells me your sun god, worshipping folk, like to move in the daytime.
Oh, I'll bring the sun with me in the smile. As best as well, anyway, I can pick up a few supplies just to make sure.
I'm thinking, logically, if they're sending for warriors when a wound can't be healed instead of healers, they must have tried healers already. Plus, we don't know where else our tall, dark, and handsome is going tonight. He says he has many places to go before the morning.
Oh, maybe they're covering their asses, hiring 15 teams all across all the town. Still, a good night of sleep and a good food and a little bit of extra drink won't hurt me too much. I'll have another round, I asked the bartender.
They are happy to offer that up in exchange for the usual payment.
Yeah, Perry, the usual.
Hey now, a wink and a smile will get you a long way.
Is that what they're calling it these days?
And after that, perhaps another one? Maybe a few more for the road just to sleep well.
Perry, I don't want to have to carry you again. You remember what happened the last time, right?
No, not really.
Hence the problem.
Can't be
Julius,
that bad.
you need to take care of your boy here.
I'll be fine.
I think I'm going to retire early, actually. We probably want to be up as early as possible. Might be a good idea to get to the rendezvous before they do.
Oh, I'll be up at dawn. No worries.
And I am going to go to bed early,
All right.
and I'm going to try to get up before dawn.
Okay. So, is everybody else staying at the tavern? Is anyone else is going to bed? Any
I will-
other?
I will have one more round and perhaps another bite to eat.
All right.
I'm staying at the tavern. Probably this room is just fine.
I'm going to go talk to the cook and see if I can get a bit of beef for Anubis since he did so well in the battle. And then I'll probably turn in as well.
The cook, as it happens, is a dog lover and is really impressed with you for having trained a wolf to be so well behaved and friendly, and so he's happy to offer some of the scraps.
Oh, that's excellent.
Oh, how big is this wolf anyway? And have you ever thought of having a saddle put on?
Wolves aren't formed to carry passengers.
Well, I'm only half a passenger.
For him, you would definitely be a full passenger. His spine is not like a pony. He wouldn't be able to carry you.
Oh, that's a shame.
And before you get in your cups again and ask me again, no, I will not carry you in bear form either. I have just one more drink, and as I see Julius leave, I duck out because I don't want to carry Perry again.
Well, I'm in my cups. It's going to be a long day tomorrow, and I'll have to not remember most of the morning.
All right. So you all while away the remainder of the evening, whether you're going to bed or just enjoying the alcohol as you spend the rest of the evening here. So in the morning, does anyone have any business before you guys all just collect yourselves and prepare to leave?
Yes. I got up early in order to be able to go around the town and see what Aragal was up to last night from the various early risers among the townsfolk.
Okay.
I'm sure that gossip got around. A stranger like that doesn't come to town without people talking. And I'm going to kind of track him via the tracks he left in the townsfolk instead of on the ground.
Interesting. Okay.
All right.
So you're looking first just for anyone who's kind of around?
Yeah. Well, just go around to be. I mean, there's always, farmers and other people who need to be up early.
There's people around, but it's just a question of if you're looking for anyone kind of in particular or.
Just whoever's available. I'm going to start close to the tavern because I know he was there.
Mm-hmm.
But if somebody mentions, he went off to the west, go off that way. If I'm up 2 hours early, then spend an hour doing that, and then head back to the tavern to meet up with everybody.
Okay. Make
my character.
Oh, sorry.
My character does have the Heart of Darkness feature that commoners tend to extend courtesy and do the help. So.
The rest of you would know this, having spent some time with Jazric, but you can just look in his eyes. You can tell, he's seen some stuff. He's got this just aura around him that you can just tell. He is experienced horror, and he kind of makes you a little inclined to. All right, we don't need to make this a thing. We just sure. Of course, we'll help you because you seem like you've had a rough go of it.
And the sooner we tell you what you want to know, the sooner you'll leave.
Yes. So go ahead and make an investigation check.
Okay.
right. Ooh, 20. Right off the bat. That's not a natural 20 though. That's a 18
That's
plus 2. Okay. So what you actually discover, most of the people who are out and about early in the morning are not necessarily the people who were watching for strangers in the middle of the night. But what you do end up making your way towards, everyone kind of points that anyone who comes into the town from the direction that he's suggesting he came from would have had to go through a certain like a checkpoint that's
Okay.
manned by guards, and that
Okay.
it's early enough that the guard that was on duty last night may not have come off shift yet.
Okay.
And so you go and you talk to him. I'll just go ahead and let you know. And he says he does remember, of course, who you mean, because he's dressed very colorfully and didn't look like he was from around here. He said he was coming into town to deliver a letter, and he wasn't in town more than an hour, and left again, going back in the direction of the west.
So he didn't have any other business in town after all.
Well, the guard didn't see any of that, but he wasn't in town long.
Right. Okay. So to the best of what I've been able to gather, he came, delivered the letter, and left again.
Yeah, as far as the
Okay.
guard knows.
Okay.
So, as you all assemble and get prepared to leave,
I'll
So-
establish a pattern that I'll probably do from time to time. So, in the main tavern room where I find myself awoken by the wonderful bloody light of Lathander, I'll proceed to crawl out the front door. And crawling out the front door, seeing the beautiful sun rising up over the horizon, I give my prayers and my thanks. I cast less restoration on myself to clear my mind just a little bit. Then I pulls out a cup and a knife, and I create some food and water to get me properly situated for the day, because apparently I'm not getting carried today.
all right. Yeah. So,
So Shadow walks out, and part of her common clothes is a floppy hat, and she's cursing the sun. Ugh, so bright. You'd think I was the one who stayed at the tavern all night.
Yeah.
He looks over at Perry and he's like, "There you go. There you go.
Do you?
Do you remember anything from last night?"
Ah, head cup after cup of beautiful mead. Oh, it reminds me, I'm going to have a bit before they go, and maybe a bit for the road, too.
We'll see if I remember to remind you. Do you remember where we're going today?
Oh, there's some sort of road involved and a lot of walking. Some sort of good deed to be done, I'm sure. Julius will fill me in later, I'm sure. And once reminded, go back in for a flagon of mead to take on the road.
Jezrich walks up. It's like, well, it looks like Aragol lied to us. He didn't have any other business in town. He came here, delivered his letter, and left again.
Ah, but did he have business in other towns?
I don't know that, but when he told us he couldn't be delayed to answer our questions, I think he was lying. He just didn't want to perhaps expose anything. We should be cautious.
No offense, friend, but you do tend to scare some folks away from the table.
I think that this indicates a lack of honor on his part.
We should be cautious.
Yes, I agree.
We should be, but also there could be friends along the way. It's not to turn ourselves entirely darkened of heart just yet.
No, but let's just recall that he came to us and then lied to us.
Yeah. That wouldn't be the first time I'd lied in terms of getting some service. I'm just saying.
Say it like it happens occasionally.
Yeah.
Always an occasion.
Certain pieces of information I really don't want, so.
Well, we get a lot of time on the road to talk.
all right. With that, are you guys hitting the road?
Well, has Honor shown up?
Yeah, Honor snuck up behind you while you were talking to listen in.
No, you didn't, because I am always aware. And,
Well, she could still creep up on you even if you just notice that.
Yeah. I didn't want to interrupt.
if I may, though, what's your wolf's name again?
Anubis.
Anubis. Anubis? Turns around.
Yes,
sees
Anubis.
Honor. Hello.
Poor little Lathander, never do that again. I want to replenish me my medicine pouch and a few things along the road, but that's the kind of standard things you get up along the storeway. Maybe a salami or something.
What do we know about the terrain between here and Barovia? What kind of land is it?
You are currently it's relatively forested. There's some farmland in the area that you are now, but you know that west of here is more forest and some mountains in the distance.
Okay.
But none of you have really been that way before.
Onward to a new adventure?
15 miles of walking.
That's not so far.
It's twice as much for me.
All right, so you guys head out, and I'm gonna start my which if I have to find where's that
Maestro, a little traveling music, please.
yeah. All right. So as you guys start moving to the west as planned, I'm going to go ahead and move you to the map screen. So a lot of this is going to be all blacked out for you, but on the rightmost side of the map, approximately midway down, there's going to be a part that you should be able to see. Just a tiny little square so far, because you're only just getting into the map.
Okay. Yep, I got it.
So as you have made your way west on this road, you realize that you're moving into some weather. The sunrise in the east was kind of a beautiful blue sky in that direction, but as you've turned your sights west, you discover, oh yeah, there's much cloudier that way. And so as you move through the forest, it's not raining right now, but it's very humid and misty, and the forest is dark. It's very dense, and even though the road itself is clear, the canopy overhead and the cloud cover that you're moving into makes everything kind of dim. I mean, you can see it, but it's cloudy, misty, gloomy weather. And in fact, it looks as though it's had some rain recently. Black pools of water stand like dark mirrors in and around the muddy roadway. Giant trees loom on both sides of the road, their branches clawing at the mist. And you're making your way. The weather kind of came on slow as you're moving in that direction, but there's no sort of sign of it abating as you continue this direction. So you're making your way. The road is mostly straight, heading in the western direction, and approximately 5 hours go by. A lot of the module describes travel times in this as time, not miles, and so I'm going to stop trying to estimate that all the time. We can assume, though, that the time estimate is accurate if you guys are moving at a normal travel pace, let's say. So what you finally come to, though, after about 5 hours of travel, is the fog spills out of the forest to swallow up the road behind you. Ahead, jutting from the impenetrable woods on both sides of the road, are high stone buttresses looming gray in the fog. Huge iron gates hang on the stonework. Dew clings with cold tenacity to the rusted bars. 2 headless statues of armed guardians flank the gate, their heads now lying among the weeds at their feet. they greet you only with silence. And I'm sending you another handout called Gates of Barovia. That's an image of these gates. And you'll notice once you look at it, these are big gates. They're not
Yeah.
small. They tower over you.
Are the figures, the headless figures, and looking at their heads on the ground and their bodies up, are they something that is identifiable from lore?
They are human. You can make a history check to see if you recognize anything about them.
Friendly place.
15. They don't resemble anything you know of the history of this area. They seem really old, so you almost feel like you are surprised that they seem so unfamiliar.
Wonder why they didn't put the heads back on.
I'm thinking because whoever built this is no longer here. It's a bit foreboding.
Yeah. So
It's
you
a bit
guys
grim.
spot this gate as you're still, like 100 feet out or so.
Mm-hmm.
Are you continuing in that direction?
Yeah.
All right.
With caution.
Sure.
Oh, I've got my long sword out. Yes.
Somewhat nervously, Perry is relating stories of recipes that he's cooked along the way.
Yeah.
Right now, it's the grandmother's cookies recipe.
Well, those
Doesn't
are
seem
good.
terribly appropriate, but it's there.
So as you guys approach these gates, they are closed, but when you get about 30 feet from the gate, you hear an enormous metal groaning sound, and the gates they open at your approach.
Do I have any oil on me?
That's even more foreboding.
Yeah.
Now I'm starting to take the part of the letter which said something of evil has happened around the place is a bit more serious and more
Less
literal.
poetic language?
Yes. I mean, it could be just evil architecture. Bad maintenance.
The path through the gate looks like more woods on the other side, misty and dim under the heavy overcast sky.
No evidence that an actual person opened these gates?
Not that you can see.
Lovely.
Does anyone have detect evil?
Well, in a manner of speaking, sometimes. But I mean, evil is more of a subjective thing most of the time. If you're looking for evil, bad architecture is a good place to start, though. Creepy doors that open themselves are somewhat unfortunate. These doors look like they're too big for me to move, and probably too big for any of you, too. Which means magic. Had to be magic. Somebody's seen it. That part's true. As for evil, well, I guess we have to see. Evil doesn't reside in stones, it resides in people.
Come on! I stride through the doors.
All right. Nothing seems to happen. You pass through. The walls are tall and thick, but nothing obstructs your path. The road continues on the other side.
I follow Jaseric, looking around cautiously. Thank you, whomever opened the doors. We mean no harm. We have an invitation. Walking, and then repeating that in every language I know as I walk through.
What other languages are those?
I first say it in Common, then in Elvish, then in Sylvan, and then in Draconic.
Tell them that we come in peace.
Yeah, I say that too.
When you say it in
Peace.
Draconic, everybody that the language is almost kind of intimidating just to hear. It's sort of a lot of harsh, almost snarling sounds to the words.
What did you call them?
I told them that if they want some good cookies to start with you.
I don't think your phrasing is quite right there.
I'm pretty sure.
I do make good cookies.
All right. So you're all passing through the gate then?
I'll take a wee nip of me.
Just added a personality trait.
My
I've
safety need
revealed
is
a
gonna
bit
get a
more
little
on your,
worn.
your map. You've just passed through the gate there. All right. So as you continue along the road, it curves around to the south a little bit. As you move past the gates, once you're all through the gate and moving away from them, you hear once again the groan and the squeal as they close behind you.
Well, didn't mean to leave the door open, so that's good. Right.
In the woods, towering trees whose tops are lost in heavy gray mist block out all but a death gray light. The tree trunks are unnaturally close to one another, and the woods have the silence of a forgotten grave, yet exude the feeling of an unvoiced scream.
We don't even hear like insects or anything like that? Or birds?
Very quiet. Very quiet.
Bad maintenance.
I am going to spend a spell slot to activate my primeval awareness
Okay.
and sense whether there are undead within 1 mile.
Okay.
Okay.
It lasts for a minute per level, and I'm just
All right. So you take a moment and you meditate on the landscape around you, and incidentally, the scale of this map that I'm showing you, each hex is a quarter mile.
okay.
Just for scale.
Okay.
So you.
Those. I'm saying that those gates are a quarter mile across.
Yeah. So as you open up your awareness, you feel that you don't sense. I'm trying to.
It's a binary thing. It's yes or no. Are there any within a mile or not? That's all it tells me.
Okay. You suspect that there are some within a mile. And
Okay.
if that's all it says, then that's all you know.
All right.
Are you okay, Jazrick? You got that look on your face.
I smell the risen dead.
Oh, that's disgusting. Wait, you're not talking metaphorically?
No.
Because I didn't bathe this morning, but I'm okay.
In fact, Jazrick, now that you've kind of opened your mind to that, and you're talking about the smell, you realize it's also kind of not metaphorical. You literally actually smell the scent of death on the air at the moment, nearby.
Music is perfect for this, by the way.
Be on your guard.
I'm glad we've all eaten breakfast already.
Are you following the smell?
Yes, I am.
Okay. It's not too far. The foul scent leads you to a human corpse half buried in the underbrush just about 15 feet from the road. The young man appears to be a commoner. His muddy clothes are torn and raked with claw marks. Crows have been at the body, which is surrounded by paw prints. The man has obviously been dead for several days, and he holds a crumpled envelope in one hand.
Ooh.
See, just an animal attack. Nothing to worry about.
Can we identify the paw prints?
Someone can make a
scratches?
survival check.
Yep, hang on.
All right, so a 21 survival is pretty good. You recognize them as wolf prints, except they're really big. I mean, Anubis is accompanying you guys, and these prints are twice the size of his prints, but otherwise similar in shape.
Would they be, similar to the size of, say, a dire wolf? Considering I can transform into that, I think I should know.
In fact, actually, since you can transform into a direwolf, you definitely recognize that's what the prints look like.
Okay.
Direwolf.
Now,
No doubt about it.
that with a saddle would do me fine.
No.
All right.
It's only a dog.
Yes.
I'm going to use my primeval awareness to see if the dire wolves are within 5 miles.
Okay. So you concentrate because yours is specifically tied to beasts, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let me just double check. Direwolf is a beast still, right? Making
believe
sure it's
so,
not
yeah.
like a monstrosity
so.
or something like that. Direwolf. Yes, it is a beast.
I
yes.
also wanted to point something out that I just figured out about the way the system works.
Okay.
It rolls twice, which means you don't have to do an advantage roll or a disadvantage roll. And I just figured that out. And I went,
Okay, yeah. So that's if anyone is unclear, yeah. So when you do a roll, it shows 2 numbers, and if you're just doing a normal roll, you take the one on the left. However, if you were rolling at advantage, you take the higher of the 2. If you're rolling at disadvantage, you take the lower of the 2. That's why there's 2 numbers.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
yeah, I was confused at first.
Sure. No, I it's a neat system, but not necessarily obvious until you have it explained or spot it like that. But so
And remind me again, when do we get advantage?
various rules can all sorts of different things can grant it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, Honor, as you expand your awareness of beasts in the area, you discover that there are lots of direwolves in the woods. When you're talking about a 5-mile radius, there's lots, and they are all over. You don't sense any in the immediate vicinity, though.
Okay. Where's the closest one?
Maybe half a mile away.
Half a mile. Okay, so you're right. There are dire wolves, and the closest one is within half a mile of us.
There's actually maybe a few of them, like a small patch.
Yeah.
Then let's be on our way.
I want to have a look at that envelope in his hand if we can get that out without tearing it.
You can, and I'm giving you another handout. That is the letter that he, this poor, unfortunate departed soul, had in his hand.
I'll spend a moment over the body and just give him the light little hand there, a little pet talk to go into the next life with.
Yeah, I know Galler. Iceberg. Send you.
That's the same name.
Yes. And it's the same name that sent the letter to us. He originally said it was his love, and now it's his adopted daughter.
Well, you can love your daughter. I mean, not in that way.
Same name. Hang on.
And this letter was clearly written before the one that we got was delivered.
Yes.
So we're walking into a trap.
Yes.
Does someone want to read the letter just for anyone who?
Hail thee of might and valor, I, the burgomaster of Barovia, send you honor with despair. My adopted daughter, the fair Irina Koliana, has been these past nights bitten by a vampire. For over 400 years, this creature has drained the lifeblood of my people. Now, my dear Irina languishes and dies from an unholy wound caused by this vile beast. He has become too powerful to conquer. So I say to you, give us up for dead and encircle the land with the symbols of good. Let holy men call upon their power, that the devil may be contained within the walls of weeping Barovia. Leave our sorrows to our graves and save the world from this evil fate of ours. There is much wealth entrapped in this community. Return for your reward after we have all departed for a better life. It is signed by the same name, Colin Indrunovich. Yeah, Indrunovich. My pronunciation isn't the best.
Can I take a little look at that letter?
Go right ahead.
And I compare it to the other letter that I grabbed and spoke of before. There's something wrong here. I don't know if you need me to make an investigation roll, but I just noticed something.
The handwriting is different. And the
Yeah.
one that you've just now found, the seal has a large B set into it rather than the crest you saw on the other one.
His
Ah.
handwriting's much worse, in fact.
Yeah,
The paper is much cheaper too. It's flimsier and thinner.
so which one is a forgery?
Clearly, the first one.
Well, it could both be. I mean, which one do you mean is the first one? The one we got in the bar or the one we got this morning?
The one we got in the bars, the
one we
forgery.
got last night.
Technically, it's not untrue.
It is if it doesn't come from the person it says it comes from.
Well, okay, that part's not true. But it does say that this girl is affected by an evil illness. It just happens to forget to put the vampire part on. Well then, this makes it a bit of a longer day.
Anybody see any reason we shouldn't continue on?
Well, that
the
would be the
girls-
smart thing to do,
Let's
is
keep-
not to continue on, but it also wouldn't be much fun now, would it?
The girl's still in danger no matter which letter you like.
Fine.
Can anyone figure out age of the paper, or
I was just thinking that.
Sure. I guess make a perception check.
Everybody?
Well, anyone who wants to take a, I mean, whoever you guys would have decide this.
Nah.
I'll take a closer look at the body instead, in
right.
case he might
So,
have anything else.
Nutty has rolled a 12 for perception. The paper looks old. I mean, like it's. You even see some spot on it where it looks like it was maybe had something else written on it, and that the ink was scraped off of it, and this perhaps reused, but not as a recent thing. It's instead. It looks like the paper is old, but the writing is more recent.
on the letter from the body, or the letter we got last night?
The letter from the body. Like
Interesting.
I mean, you can't be 100% sure how recent the writing is, but the body looks like it's perhaps only been let's see. I want to make sure I'm not going to contradict something. Yeah, the date, the letter does have a date on it that is 1 week ago.
The new letter, the letter we
Yes,
just
the
found.
letter you just found. The other one had no date.
Well, I might mean the girl's still in good shape. Maybe they had a chance to get another letter out, but the fellow couldn't write anymore.
Okay. So Julius, you rolled. What were you rolling for?
I was supposed to be rolling for perception, but
Okay, but
no.
to look at what? To look at the.
to determine the age of the letter.
Okay,
But,
yeah.
But we've already figured that out.
Yeah. And then so the body also looks like it's been dead for more than a couple of days, but maybe not much more.
Anything more in his pockets?
Um,
What kind of shape are his pockets in?
well, his clothes are torn, and actually, it looks like you don't find anything else in his pockets.
No rings to identify him or nothing, eh?
And the direwolves didn't eat him. Which might be more concerning.
No, the birds got at him.
So the direwolves just killed him and then left him without eating any of the meat.
Well, it's not as though we don't know of wolves that might attack on the command of someone else.
And
Look
then
over at the
as
wolf
you
and see.
as you're having this discussion, you hear a wolf howling in the forest.
Looking at the wolf that's standing beside me, it didn't just howl, did it?
No.
Right then.
We
Maybe
we should keep going.
a little faster pace.
How is the light here now? Is it still just cloudy and misty, or has it?
Yeah,
is it-
you guys left pretty early. Like it was light, but maybe 6, and then you'd been traveling for about 5 hours. So
Okay, so it's midday.
It's midday, but it's still just it's a gloomy day. It's heavy overcast, and the forest makes it even darker. So you continue.
Does anybody have any torches? Maybe we should
Well,
light a torch. We could
it's.
wave it at the wolves if they attack.
I mean, you could light a torch. I'm just saying it's not so dark you can't see. It's just
Yeah.
very
Okay.
gloomy for midday.
Yeah, it's not night. It's just not sunny.
Yeah. So you make your way further, and after another mile or so, you emerge from the thickness of the forest into a large area that's a little bit more open, grassy, a little bit hilly, and you see the road continue to the west, and about a mile off, maybe a little more, you see what looks like a village in the distance. And then
Oh.
to your, here, let me just go ahead and reveal more of this big map here. And then you see also more towards the south of you, there seems to be a river in the distance.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Well, at least he wasn't lying about how far away the place was, or at least the first place. Wait, are we that close already?
You're about a mile and a half away. You've just emerged from where the forest, the road comes out of the forest.
But how long have we been walking for?
About,
You said
were
5 or 6
5
hours?
hours before you came to the gate.
Oh, okay. Okay. So yeah.
And then we've gone what another about a mile since the gate. Looks like maybe a bit more.
Well,
These people might know a little more than we do.
If there's anyone here. Any signs of life there? Smoke from chimneys?
Yep.
Okay. Are these fields around or pastures or what?
No, they're mostly where you just came out of the forest. It's more like just grassland and kind of hilly. But you do spot kind of in the off closer to the village. There are some pastures.
Okay. Any animals grazing? Anything like that?
You don't actually see any.
Okay.
There's
is
farmland
everything
and stuff.
still too quiet?
There's a bit of wildlife around. It's not deathly silent. Like the
Wolf
forest was.
siren.
The forest seemed extra quiet, but it's still very gloomy and kind of a depressing landscape. But there's insects and and so on around. You'll occasionally see like a raven fly overhead.
Well, let's go see what's going on.
Okay.
I'll be back in just a second. I've got to grab something to eat because I'm having trouble concentrating. I'll be right back.
All right. So you're making your way towards the village.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So as you're here, we can wait for Tim to come back if it'll only be a moment. So you guys are seeing the map, right? Just the up to where the village is and so on. Okay, just want to make sure you guys are seeing what I'm expecting because I haven't dropped your tokens on here or anything. So seems like it's working so far. Has there been anyone else in the chat, Nutty?
Nobody's been chatting, but we have 2 people watching,
Oh.
Mother Dragon and Sad Moongaze.
Oh, well, great. So thank you for those of you who are watching, helping with this little experiment, seeing how this will work, and we're getting in there. So let me go ahead and move you guys to the village map. Okay, I think, you know what, I'm just going to go ahead and make the village map just revealed, and not any of that is hidden. So you guys should see the whole village.
Still black.
Okay, let's see. Oh, here we go. Now?
There you go.
Yeah.
Now we can see it. Yeah.
Okay. So
Well, it's a bit bigger on this map.
yeah. So you guys are coming in from the west,
From the west.
or excuse me, from the east. Heading in the west direction. So you're coming from the right-hand side of the map. heading west onto the mountain. Is what I mean to say.
Okay, so up is north.
Yes.
This is a fairly sizable town.
So, as you are approaching, tall shapes loom out of the dense fog that surrounds everything. The muddy ground underfoot gives way to slick, wet cobblestones. The tall shapes become recognizable as village dwellings. The windows of each house stare out from pools of blackness. No sound cuts the silence, except for a mournful sobbing that echoes through the streets from a distance.
You know, I bet they make a very tasty mead in this part of town.
So you guys have only just reached the village outskirts. As you make your way in towards sort of the first intersection there, as you look to your right, you see for a second what looks like a group of adventurers with a couple of, a dragonborn and a dwarf, and they seem to be with two children that all go into one of the houses on the right.
How far away are they?
So the scale on this map is each square is 40 feet, so they're about 80 feet away. They've all entered the house just as you kind of spotted them.
That's strange. Apparently, we're not the only ones to the party.
See, I told you, he went around town hiring all kinds of groups. We thought we were all that special, but we're not quite, I guess.
You may not be special, but I'm special.
Well, I didn't say I wasn't special, just as a group.
So as you guys had kind of noticed that, though, there's sort of a wisp of fog that drifts through the street and obscures your vision for a moment, and then when it passes the house that they just went into, it's just a burned out shell. It looks like it must have burned to the ground at some point. But first, you're sure that a second ago, it seemed like it was there, and that's where all those people just went into, wasn't it?
Well, this I got to take a closer look at.
So,
Harry, did you slip me some mead when I wasn't looking?
yeah.
I want to cast Detect Magic.
Okay. What you discover as you cast is that the normal sort of background magic ambience that you're used to is much higher here, meaning there's much more magic just around all the time. There's a lot of noise, so to speak, compared to what you're used to when you use this spell, but you don't detect anything you're looking at this burned out shell of a townhouse, and looks like it was once pretty big and maybe fancy, but there's kind of a brick porch standing still, but you don't detect any active magic on it.
Okay. Is there a chair with a rope made of sheets hanging out of one window?
If there ever was, it must have burned up in the fire.
Okay.
Just remember what you said. I realized what you said.
Is this? Would this remind me of something that I would know from, say, lore of spells or anything that could do something like this? Maybe show us past visions or something.
I would also like to be able to roll if it's
okay.
something goes to.
What I'll say first, also just Nutty, that you wouldn't necessarily have known is that I'm this is kind of an Easter egg for the Death House adventure that I ran for most of these days.
Okay.
Put the chair out the window.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, you're trying to think if there's a magic thing that you would, because your buddy just cast Detect Magic and didn't spot anything.
Yeah.
So you can make a roll if you want, but he did just say there's no active magic on it right now.
Right. No, I'm not meaning
There's-
active magic. I'm just thinking of lore of situations where that you might see past visions like this.
There's a form of a ghost That's all there is a left behind impression from events in the past.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, how sad.
What I'll say is that you
It's
guys
the least sad of all the undead because there's no soul involved. It's just the emotional impression left behind.
You know, that's kind of like calling a bucket of water the least wet of all the water you can get.
Yeah. So let's not do a roll. Let's just say that like it sounds like something out of a ghost story.
Are there still stairs?
Okay.
This thing it's a husk. It was burned to the ground.
Oh.
There's debris crumbled from the stone bits of the foundation, but it's
Come on, guys! It's an Easter egg. Not supposed to be.
But it looks like a gazebo, so I think I should attack it.
So yeah, you guys moved up to. I'm just thinking I could put a little token on the map just to indicate. Let's see. That's not what I meant to do. I was gonna put a little thing on the. But never mind. I'm not going to. You guys are currently. You came in from the right-hand side road, turned right on that first intersection, and went 2 squares up. That's where you're currently standing. But you do still kind of hear like a sobbing sort of echoing through the alleys. And then there, even though the town is very quiet, especially for midday, there are, buildings here and there that do have smoke coming out of the chimneys. And the biggest one seems to be more towards the center of town.
Well, let's go there.
Yeah, let's
As
head
much
over.
as I'd like to look into this little bit of business here, there's still that girl who needs our help.
Yeah, I noticed the business you're looking at is the bakery.
You know, baking bread and making meat aren't too far divorced.
All right, so as you move more towards the center of town to where there seemed like there was a bit more activity, you spot what looks like kind of the open sort of central square, and on your right there is a large building that a single shaft of light thrusts illumination into the dark. Well, okay, some of this text makes it sound like it's nighttime, so I don't want to complicate that. But light is there's light inside this building. It looks like a solid pillar in the fog, and above the gaping doorway, a sign hangs precariously askew, proclaiming this to be the Blood on the Vine Tavern.
Ooh.
And that's the one that's to the right. And then to the left, there's another large building that is sparse light coming from that building spills out from behind drawn heavy curtains, and a sign over the door, creaking on its hinges, reads Bildrath's Mercantile. And and a little bit past that, you hear is the direction that the crying that you heard earlier is coming from, like past that building in that direction.
Follow that.
Well, I mean, there might be some people inside we can interrogate over a pint or two.
You can satisfy your stomach later. First,
Follow
the
crying.
child.
Yes.
Okay.
The meat can come later.
It doesn't sound like a child. It's hard to know, but it doesn't sound like a little kid. It's
Okay.
someone is kind of moaning, sobbing, but it sounds like maybe a woman.
Go there first.
It is clearly a
Sounds
woman.
like a
It's not
trap.
just a sound of a door that's waving in the wind.
No, the closer you've gotten, you're pretty sure it's a person.
All right. Still.
So you move past the Bildrath's Mercantile, and so if you're looking at the map, there's sort of that central square and the T-shaped building to the south of it. You're going on that road past it, like another 2 houses down to the one with the slightly red roof on the left there. A moaning sob floats through the still gray streets, coloring your thoughts with sadness. The sounds flow from a dark 2-story townhouse.
Well, where is the sound coming from?
It seems like it's maybe from the upper floor.
This doesn't look much like a burgomaster's house.
Mm-mm.
Oh, well. Shall we
or
knock?
rather, this house doesn't look much different than any of the other houses here. You notice as you approach the door that all of the windows and all of the windows seem to have been boarded up from the inside.
Oh,
Is
jeez.
is there any light peeking out? Because it
Uh,
looks like there might be smoke from the chimney, but if there's not lights inside,
you don't see any on the ground floor.
What time of year is it?
It's sort of getting to be fall.
A bit early to be knocking at the holes on your walls to make sure the window doesn't get in. Still, maybe they don't like.
There's a couple more buildings around. Is this the only house with boarded up windows?
You've actually passed a number of houses that look boarded up, but
Okay.
most of those seemed still and quiet, whereas this one obviously has crying coming from inside.
Perhaps they're trying to keep the light out
That was me
rather
thought.
than the wind. Bitten
Use
by
the
a
word.
vampire and all.
Well, I mean, vampire.
I go up and walk and knock on the door.
All right. The sobbing there does not abate in any way. It just kind of continues, and you knock on the door. The door, the knock sounds oddly flat, like maybe the door is barricaded as well from the inside.
This is such a trap. It's such a trap, but I can't help myself when I hear someone crying.
Not a trap. It's an opportunity in the reverse.
Walk around the house and look for other entrances.
Okay. As you make your way around, you see that all of the windows on all sides are likewise boarded up. But on the back, you see there's basically a wood pile stacked against one side of the house that it seems like it would be pretty easy to climb up from there onto sort of a little bit of a landing that could get you onto the second floor windows.
All right. And the second floor windows, they're also boarded.
Yes, but you spot that one of them has a little bit of a glimmer of light coming from it, like it was less effectively boarded up.
Who's the tallest of us? I'm out of character thinking it's Jasric, but I don't know in character how tall he is.
Probably Jasric.
Jasric, okay.
Let's see, do I have a height? I'm not sure.
I don't know if we picked one for you, but
Yeah, no, I didn't.
I'm just over 3 feet.
Yeah, you can make a stool.
Yeah.
I'm bigger on the inside.
Jasric, you wanna see if you can peek in that window there?
Well, I mean, you'd still have to climb up onto the roof of the porch,
Right.
with the wood pile. But any of you could see through the second floor window if you did that.
Is there a back door too?
There is
I'll climb up and take a peek.
Okay.
Okay.
There is a back door, but upon brief inspection, you guess that it's probably also barricaded. You can see through the cracks in where it's boarded up, like maybe they were running out of wood, so they weren't able to completely obscure it. And you see that the room that the window immediately goes into seems to be maybe a young woman's bedroom, and it's empty of any people, but you can see through its doorway into a hall, and you can hear that the sobbing seems to be coming from one of the other rooms on this floor.
Oi, you in there?
Well, if they were just going to yell, I could have done that.
Are you in need of any help?
So she, you hear the moaning sobs kind of stop for a moment, like she heard you, but the sobbing kind of continues a little bit more weakly, but it continues and no one kind of comes to look at the window.
I repeat, what Jastrick has said in my various languages. Again, Elvish, Sylvan, and then finishing off with Draconic.
You know, there are better ways to comfort someone than to screech at them like that.
Um,
What? I offered her more cookies.
I have a feeling there's no dragon in there.
the
You don't
as
know
you
that.
were repeating, did you climb up onto the roof of the porch too?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So as you're kind of repeating it, you do spot just at the limit of what you can see, a face kind of poke around the corner, and it's low to the ground, like she's maybe on her hands and knees. And it just peeks around, like looking towards the window a little bit. You catch the glimpse of a woman's face. She's maybe 40, and she's obviously been crying. Yeah, well, as much as you can tell, you only just kind of see the top of her head as she's peeking around the corner, and then it kind of withdraws, and you hear a little bit of a thump, like she kind of tossed herself on the floor again, and the weeping continues.
Oh boy.
Okay, I have a crowbar.
Really?
Yes, I actually have a crowbar. Let's say we get some of these boards off of this window so that we can see if we can figure out what is actually going on.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you apply the crowbar to it, you make quick work of it. It's I mean it was clearly inexpertly applied. So there's no, it doesn't take much in the way of strength to get it off, especially with the appropriate tool.
As Honor is doing that, I'm speaking and I'm like saying, "We are going to come in. We are here to help you. Just know that we are here to help you."
We are here to believe you. I mean, believe in you. I always get that messed up.
So as you clear enough of an opening that you guys could fit through, you who all is everybody climbing in through the window?
Yeah.
Oh, might as well.
Yeah, so you're entering into, as I mentioned, what looks like maybe a young woman's bedroom. It's a little bit dusty in there, but otherwise clean.
Perhaps, Honor, you might leave your pet to watch the door just in case.
You mean the window?
So are you having Anubis maybe stay out on the porch?
Stand guard on the porch roof.
Okay.
Good doggy.
Howl if you hear it.
Sure. So as you move into what looks like maybe the what would be the master bedroom in this house, you see the woman who had peeked around the corner sitting in the center of the floor, clutching a malformed doll, and she is just still weeping to herself. And as she sees you enter, she kind of glances up at you just to kind of see what you are or what you're doing, but then kind of looks down at the doll and is hugging it to herself, crying.
Is it dim inside?
Yes, there was a lantern in the corner that's lit, so it's not dark, but it's just the one lantern.
Is there any way to tell if that's like a cursed object?
You
Just
you
assume.
wanna you can make an investigation check if you want.
Okay.
Are you injured there, dear?
She looks up at you. So
Not a
let's
very
see.
good one.
Doesn't
Yeah,
have to look up very far.
I mean, it looks like a lantern.
No, the doll.
Oh, the doll. Okay, I thought you said the lantern because that's what I had talked about, and then you said, I said there's
Sorry.
a lantern, it's lit, and then you say, can I tell if that's a cursed object? The doll, it's hard to see. It's hard to get a good look at it while she's clutching it like that.
Okay.
But so as Perry asks if she's injured, she looks up and just, her eyes are red from crying and, just tear streaked, and she says, no, just, it's my daughter. She's gone. She's gone. And actually, I have a picture of her. I'll show you. So, this is a handout for you guys. New handout.
All right.
So, yeah.
Ignore the label.
You can. I mean, that's sort of the name. But yeah, that's what she looks like. She looks up at you and just says, "No, it's my daughter. She's been taken. She's missing."
Oh, no, ma'am. What's your name?
Mary.
Mary. My name is Perry. It rhymes. Doesn't that make it funny?
The rest of us just give him dirty looks.
Where has your daughter been taken? Who took her?
I fear the worst. I fear she's been taken by the devil Strahd. My daughter Katrina. She was the love of my life. She was everything to me, and now she's gone.
Okay, can you tell us from the beginning exactly what happened?
My Gertruda. She was always too unafraid of the many dangers of this world. I sometimes had to be strict with her because she wouldn't take precautions. She wouldn't be careful. But I told her to stay in her room, but she left, and now she's been missing. She's been missing a week now. She hasn't come back.
Can you tell us a little more about this devil Strahd?
He lives in the castle above the city. He's evil. He's the devil. He rules us all. And he's taken my daughter.
Why are you so sure that she is in his castle?
That's what he does. He takes everything good from us. There is nothing good left in this land that he does not take from us. And my Gertruda was too beautiful, too pure, too innocent. Of course he would take her, because that's what he does. The devil Strahd takes everything from us.
When was the last time you saw her?
It was a week ago. She was angry with me for telling her to stay away from that tavern.
Which tavern?
The tavern here in the village.
Okay. There's just the one?
The blood on the vine.
Okay. But she went there anyway, against your wishes?
Yes, well, I assume that's where she went. That's where she wanted to go. I told her to stay in her room. But she left. I found her missing, and she hasn't been seen since. You have to find her. You have to. You have to find her for me.
We will do our best, miss. We really will. We want to help you, and we want to help your daughter.
She's clutching this doll to her.
How long has the devil Strahd been in control of this town?
Not just this town. All the lands of Barovia, the whole land. And I don't even know. Forever, as far as I know. He's been up there for hundreds of years, stealing everything from us.
400, I suppose. The letter did say something like that. Look, miss, do you have any water or anything you might take to calm your nerves for the moment?
Yeah.
I can offer you a little sweetness. And I pull out my flagon of mead. There's still a little left. Take a sip. It'll help calm the nerves.
Her hand is shaking as she reaches out and just
I hold her
takes a
hand.
little swallow from it. Well, so she's got one hand clutching the doll, and she takes the little flask with the other. Or you're kind of holding her hand that's holding the flask? Or?
I'm helping the flask, yeah.
Okay. She takes the swallow and
There.
then maybe goes for another.
Let's not be too hasty.
I'm sorry.
There. Deep breaths. I take the flask gently out of her hand.
Okay. She
take it
she
to
le- yeah,
myself.
she gives it up.
See? Sweetness and light.
You're very kind. She almost looks at you, blinks a little bit, like she's really only noticing for the first time. You're so small.
Hi. Isn't it wonderful?
And she looks around actually and sees Shadow's pointed ears, and then sees Honor with her tail and her little horns, and she's looking around. Who are all of you? You're strangers to this place. Why have you come here, to this cursed place?
Are we rhyming now?
You're always rhyming. We came because there was an invitation,
We
which
were asked to
here
come.
was a trap.
Still not thinking it's a trap so much as it's just a deception bit. Do you know the Burgermeister, Kolyan Indirovich?
Yes. Yes.
Well,
He lives at the south end of town in the big house there
oh,
with his
Good.
son and adopted daughter.
Irina.
Yes, I think that's her name. I don't know. I think she's a bad influence. I told Gertruda to stay away from her.
Well, she might have been influenced badly, as far as the letter we received said. May not be a character flaw.
I don't know about that. No one in this town can be trusted. No one in this land can be trusted.
Well, now, I can trust you, can't I?
Why did you think Indira was a bad influence?
Well, she's not from here. She was found as a child. Who knows where she came from? The burgomaster adopted her, but took her in. But who knows? No one in this town is any good. This whole land is cursed, and we have to protect ourselves.
How long ago did Irina come to this land?
Oh, years. There's been more than she was but a child. She's more grown now. Perhaps 10, 12 years.
So she's been here with less time than Strahd.
Oh, well, Strahd's been. I don't even know how long Strahd's been here. This is my mother's mother knew Strahd, the devil Strahd. Irina is more recent by far. She's perhaps only a bit older than my Gertruda.
Is there any alliance between the Bergamont, Irina, and Strahd?
I don't know. No, they wouldn't. They would say no, but you can never tell. The devil Strahd has his spies everywhere.
What can you tell us about this Strahd person?
He styles himself as the lord of this land, and who's to dispute him? He lives in the castle, controls everything, takes what's good from the land, sucks it dry. I stay away from him.
I reach into my pack and pull out the wig. You see this little thing? This little floppy little wig, eh? You see that, eh?
What? Yes?
This too came from a lord who decided to squeeze the people out of all the things that were good. And now I have it, with his head rolled upon the ground. If there's one thing I know, lords who are too big for their britches tend to fall to the knife.
You think you could take on Devil Strahd? Rescue my daughter?
Little o' me by myself, no. But with these stalwart folks, and maybe a few of the townsfolk are willing to turn against an unworthy ruler.
I have nothing that I could offer you but my gratitude, but if you can rescue this land from the Devil Strahd, rescue my daughter, my Gertruda, I would be forever indebted to you.
Oh, I think if we can manage that, that'll be far more payment than you could ever ascribe. And besides, seeing you smile and seeing your daughter back again, That would be more than enough.
Please, I hope beyond hope that you can do what you say, and hope is such an unfamiliar feeling in this place.
Well, let's hope we can get used to it.
I ask her, "Do you have food?"
I, I don't. Maybe downstairs.
I cast a goodberry spell, and I'll give her 2 of them. Say, eat one now, another one tomorrow. Tomorrow morning, they will sustain you. And I'll eat one myself.
Okay. She eats it and she's like, "Oh, it's sweet."
They also incidentally cure 1 hit point, so if anybody who's undead tries to eat one, they take a point of damage.
She says it's sweet. Yes, thank you. I don't remember the last time I had a meal. Thank you.
The other one won't last past noon tomorrow, so eat it tomorrow morning.
Yes, I will. Thank you. Thank you.
Now, let's go talk to the burgomaster.
One thing before we go, Mary. There is something you can do for us. While we're in town, we may need a place to rest, and your place seems big enough and adequate that we could bed down for an evening in nice comfort, or at least not on the ground out under the creepy trees. Do you mind if we come back and rest here in the evenings?
If you promise me you'll rescue my Gertruda, then yes.
We'll do all we can. It may take a little
No,
while.
you must promise.
I promise.
Ooh, I wish you hadn't done that.
We will see what can be done.
Okay.
My companion is extremely optimistic.
I know. It's wonderful, isn't it?
She's relaxing a bit, and you can see that as she is relaxing a little bit, she's not clutching this doll quite so tightly, and you see that it's obviously like a child's sort of stuffed doll, but it's kind of malformed. Like it doesn't. It's kind of a weird distorted form. Like the arms aren't the same length, and the head's really big compared to the rest of the body, and it has kind of a weird sort of strange leer on the face. But it's wearing a sackcloth dress.
Note to self, I won't have her make my clothes.
Oh, here's a question we kind of didn't ask. What does her daughter look like?
She's young and beautiful, the most beautiful girl ever. Fair skin, dark hair. She has large, beautiful eyes.
Approximately how old is she?
She's let me double check that. She's perhaps 20, or no, Mary would know. She's 20, only just.
Okay, thank you.
Any distinguishing marks? I mean, you basically described me.
Is your name Gertrude?
Well, she
No.
she's she
Then it's not
doesn't have the ears.
Man for her. You're so
That would be-
sexy.
That would be distinguishing.
Well, she has normal ears.
Oh,
No, she
okay, that's
doesn't
better.
have the pointed ears of your pointed ears. Are you an elf?
Good guess. Have you never seen an elf?
Not around here. I mean, my mother told me stories, but I've never seen one myself.
Do you mind if I touch you?
Why?
That's a bit
To
forward.
calm you down, but I'd never touch without permission.
Okay.
I kind of pat her on the back and give her some nice, soft, reassuring touches.
Okay. She looks like she was kind of expecting something to happen when you touched her, but she.
It's no magical touch, just wanting to calm you down. It's okay. It's okay.
Okay.
You have a great party here, looking out for your daughter, and if anything can be done for her, this is the group that will help her.
I believe it. You'll rescue her. But be careful. The devil Strahd is not to be trifled with.
That's good. I don't trust anyone.
Desric seems rather unsettled by everything going on. He goes downstairs and sees about that barricade on the front door.
You see that somewhat like the window, it looks like Mary has probably done this herself. There's a few scrap pieces of wood here and there, and a pile of nails, and a mallet that she's been hammering stuff in, but it's not very sturdy. Like, you know, you don't think it would take much to certainly from inside you could disassemble it pretty easily.
I don't think we ever got your name.
Mary. My
Mary.
name is Mary.
You can call me Shadow. That over there is Perry. Over here we have Honor. Downstairs went Jessic. And Julius, I believe, is just over there. I figure we should have first name introductions if we're going to be rooming together.
Oh, she knew my name.
Sorry.
Yes, thank you. Thank you all, but you must hurry. The longer she's with the Devil Strahd, I don't know what he might do to her.
We will. We just need a little more information. These barricades you put up, what are they against?
Well, it's like I said, no one in this town can be trusted. And the Devil Strahd has his spies everywhere. I put them up to try to protect us, but Gertrude snuck out anyway.
Okay. Well, we're going to be coming and going, so we're going to need to be able to get in and out. But don't worry. We're on the case.
Okay. If you while you're here, you can disassemble the door. But when you leave, I'll put it back up, and then you can tell me with a knock when you want to return.
Oh, here's a knock. When you hear that, that'll be us.
Okay.
Wait, was that tom, or was that tom?
It doesn't matter, Perry. You won't remember it.
Now, I put my hands on my hips. Now, I might just remember it.
Give him some meat.
I'm with him.
Okay. And we'll have to put the boards back up on the window we came through before we leave to speak with the burgomaster.
She kind of looks in the direction of that room just from where you came. But she kind of doesn't make any move, and she just sort of nods, and now that you have sort of relaxed her out of her crying, you realize that she still has a little bit of a far away stare, like she's kind of not fully present here in the room with you. I mean, physically she's there, but she's kind of lost in her own thoughts.
She's a bit spacey.
Yeah.
A bit mad, even.
I wonder when the last time she ate was.
2 minutes
She just had
ago.
a good berry.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
All right. Shall we?
So you're taking the boards down from the front door?
So we can get out. Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
replace the back window.
Yeah, and I'll go out the back window because I need to pick up Anubis, and I've got a hammer so I can put the boards back up. Maybe a little bit better than she had put them up.
All right. So let me actually, on the map here, I can. I'm just gonna reveal on the map where she is. So on the map, you can see the token is there at the house that you guys were just in.
Okay.
Now,
So-
I drew on the map. Did you see that? Or was I just
that little purple arrow.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
we all see it.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's the correct building. And
Okay.
you can see Mary's kind of in the corner there.
And the burgomaster, I'm assuming, is in that big red house on the south end of the map.
Well, yeah, so she said it was in the south end of town, so.
Yep.
So,
So-
as soon as you guys are out and close the door behind you, you immediately hear the sound of hammering. She's putting the barricade back up right away.
Good for you.
If we come back here, we should help her out and solidify some of that a bit.
I'm sure she's got a little kitchen I can help out with.
I'm hearing that there's some chatting in the stream. Role playing games is just as a concept is kind of a fun thing to have to explain, but this is fun. But yeah, so okay, you guys now you're back on this street, and to the north is back towards that square where you saw the mercantile and the tavern, and then to your south you do see what looks like a big mansion. Are you moving in that direction?
Yes.
Yep.
All right. So as you approach, a weary-looking mansion squats behind a rusting iron fence. The iron gates are twisted and torn. The right gate lies cast aside while the left swings lazily in the wind. The stuttering squeal and clang of the gate repeats with mindless precision. It's kind of just in the wind. Clang. Clang.
More of that evil architecture.
Yeah. Weeds choke.
Is it broken or is it actually just hanging off?
So the right side is broken completely off the hinges. The other one, it looks like one of the hinges is broken. It's kind of hanging crooked on the other.
Is it on the lower hinge or on the higher hinge?
It is the higher hinge that is broken.
Can somebody give me a boost? That's bothering the hell out of me. Somebody give me a lift?
Yeah,
Sure.
I give Perry a lift.
I cast mending on that hinge.
Oh, yeah. So as you cast the cantrip, the hinge repairs itself, and the left hand piece of this iron gate is now hanging straight once again, and no longer creaking or drifting in the wind that way.
Oh, that's so much better.
So beyond this gate, weeds choke the grounds and press in with menace upon the house itself. And yet, against the walls, the growth has been tramped down to create a path all around the house. Heavy claw markings have stripped the once beautiful finish of the walls. Great black marks tell of fires that have assailed the mansion. Not a pane nor a shard of glass stands in any window. All the windows are barred with planks, each one marked with stains of evil omen.
Are the claw marks dire wolves?
Make a perception check or survival.
Well, I will.
Anyone
definitely
can make a
do that.
perception check as well. But if you're
But I was
looking,
curious because if it was something that I turn into.
Oh yeah. Well, so there's definitely what you with a perception of 25. Yeah, there you go. That's a natural 20 and then a 21. Yeah. So you guys see there are tracks from all sorts of things. Some of them look humanoid. Some of them are direwolf footprints, and some of them are regular wolf footprints. And there's also a few that they're strange marks that it's hard to know exactly what it was. Like it might have been human footprints, but distorted somehow. But there's clearly tracks all around the house. Like there have been many, many things making their way around this house. And like I said, the walls on the outside and the windows are all scratched up and even burnt in places.
Was there a crest on the gates or on the door?
There is, and it looks kind of like the B that was on the seal in the second letter you found.
How is Anubis acting?
Anubis has been kind of a little bit anxious, or not anxious really, but just like on guard. Like he thinks something is weird about this whole place. But he's also.
You want Anubis? You want Anubis to make a perception check?
He's just growling.
But at the same time, like he's kind of acting about the same as he has been since you entered. Since it started getting really foggy in the woods.
Yeah, he doesn't like this place. He doesn't like the whole place at all. So we have to take his responses with a little bit of a grain of salt.
I'm going to pet the doggy on the head. Just give it a bit of reassurance.
Yeah.
It'll be all right. You're with us. So should we knock?
Yes.
All right. So you approach the big heavy wooden front doors that are likewise all scratched up, and you knock. And after a moment, you hear a woman's voice saying, "Who is it? Identify yourselves."
I'm Perry.
We received a letter. We came into possession of a letter from the burgomaster
What?
telling us to stay away from the town, but it's pretty clear the town is in need. And so we came anyways.
Technically 2 letters.
Only one of them came from the burgomaster.
True.
I keep saying we need to have like a name for our group, so that when people ask who we are,
What's the name of the town where we killed the goblins?
Let's say it was.
Let's make Christiana name us.
Yes.
Kettleburg. That was the name of that town.
from Heidelberg. I don't know.
We're the Kettleburg Killers.
Yeah, that doesn't inspire much trust.
Goblin Stompers?
She's listening to you guys have this conversation. Like, what?
We are the heroes who get distracted.
We're the heroes who can't agree what we're called.
Well, what do you
No,
want?
that would not.
What do you want?
In both of the letters we received, it told us that Irina was in danger, and well, we're here to help if we can. Plus, we've also seen there's more danger around here. We'd like to help with that if we can. At the very least, I don't really want to stand in your stoop for too much longer.
There's too many around here that are not what they say. How do I know that you have no allegiance to Strahd?
Well, I, for one, am a follower of Lathander, and if this Strahd is what you say he is, then, well, or what others have said he is, then he'd be no friend of mine. I can show you the light if you like. And with that, I cast light on my...
Well, so bear in mind, she's shouting at you through the closed door. You
well then.
can't see her.
I can show you the light if you like.
Go ahead and roll a perception or persuasion check. Like, you think I'm foolish? Open the door? No. This house has been assaulted over and over again. I'm on to all your tricks by now.
Do you know the Lady Mary up the road?
What, Mad Mary?
Oh, well, sure. Apparently her daughter, Gertruda, has gone missing, and we're just here to help.
Poor Gertruda has been practically a prisoner from her mother for years now.
Oh. Well, maybe you can help clear up some of the misconceptions we've been told. We really just want to know the truth.
I don't think I can trust you opening the door. No, I need.
What they say about this place might be right. You know that the people that live in this house just don't have enough sense to come in out of the rain and all that. That's what I heard down at that mercantile. They were warning us.
While they, I'm going to keep an ear out to hear this conversation, but while they're haggling back and forth with the woman in front of the door, I'm going to make a circuit around the outside of the house, looking for any further clues or stuff.
All right, go ahead.
I'm gonna follow Jezric's lead, and Anubis and I are gonna take the opposite direction.
Okay, you can each make a survival check. Those are a 5 and a 7. You guys don't really discover any new information. You're pretty convinced though that all of the entrances are pretty thoroughly barricaded, and again, this trampled path around the house looks like it's just dozens of varied creatures have been surrounding this house on a regular basis. In the meantime, go ahead and make a deception check, Shadow, for your little made-up story. All right. So she's just saying, "What are you even talking about? Who at the mercantile would even?" Clearly, you lot are not to be trusted. Go away.
Yep, that's what I thought. See, Perry, I told you this was a waste of time.
What are you talking about? Why wasn't my mic on? I tell you, if
Where
we'd
is
gone
that
to the
thumping
pub, there'd
noise
be no
coming
problem.
Is that from someone's microphone? That bang 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 sound?
That's from mine. Sorry.
That's okay. That's I just wanted to make because it wasn't on the ambiance, and I was just trying to figure out what's going on. Something
It's coming from inside the room.
I'll mute. I'll mute.
Okay. Okay. So in any case, yes, she's saying go away.
No. Well, see, Perry, I told you this was a waste of time. I mean, these people, they don't want help, and they don't want the truth or anything like that. I say we just leave them.
Both letters, no matter who they were written by, rather, they wanted help.
But they were both lies, and I'm kind of gesturing, looking at Perry, so he sees that I'm trying to play this up to get her to contradict me. They were all lies. Apparently, everybody from this town just wants to sucker more people into this place so that they're all the villains here. I mean, they clearly don't want help. We should just leave and save another town.
Well, that doesn't sound right. I mean, they need our help when we're here, and we can offer it. And if they don't take our help, we can still give it.
All right. Well, you take the lead then. There you go. I'm going to sit
Well,
back here.
Ma'am, your name, I hate shouting through a door if I don't know who I'm talking to. My name, as I said before, is Perry.
There's no answer.
And I use thaumaturgy to increase the volume of my voice, because it seemed to work for Jazric earlier. I said, my name is Perry, and we're here to help. And I'd like to know your name. That echoes through probably most of the town.
You came here to help me, but you don't know my name? I don't believe a word you people are saying.
Well, the letter was signed by Kolya Nendirovich, and I don't think that's your name. Forgive me if I've gotten your name wrong, because some of these other names I've never quite understood. You're not a halfling, so names are strange.
Go away! Go away!
And if I meant you harm, would I yell through your door?
There's no answer.
Well, some people can't be helped, but I'm going to help you anyway. Now, how about the pub? They might be a little bit more friendly there, and at the very least, we can take a little load off of our feet, because I don't know about yours, but mine are killing me, because we walked for a whole damn day.
Does anybody want to sacrifice one of those letters?
What would you do that for?
Stick it under the door.
Well, I mean, you just said they're both fake. I mean, the one we found on the side of the road, buried in someone's pocket, the dead guy, I'm sure we could slip that under the door, but do you really think that's going to be convincing? Oh, by the way, we found your dead guy's letter telling them to everyone to stay away, and by the way, we're here. Doesn't seem like a good place to start.
You can tell us whether it's the burgomaster's handwriting, perhaps.
Oh, that's an idea. I mean, do you think that might work?
It's
worth a try, as long as she's still on the other side of the door. If she hasn't gone elsewhere in the house already.
Oh,
All
I
right.
can guarantee she's still there. Why would she leave a door if there's people she doesn't want there?
I amplify my voice again. Hello, miss. Well, we have the letter from the Burgermeister, and we were hoping you might be at least able to confirm to us that the letter came from the Burgermeister. And maybe in doing so, we can earn a bit of your trust to understand why we're here. And I attempt to shove the underneath the door. I don't know if it'll fit. It
You
is
can
second
kind of get
letter.
it about halfway through, but then it looks like it's hitting something on the other side and it's kind of crumpling up.
I mean, do you have a mail slot?
A doggy door or anything like that?
Do you have a halfling door?
She's not answering.
Well, I guess I could leave it just here. You can come out and get it on your own. We'll be off to the pub, maybe. No, okay.
Well, we could go to the pub and ask around about Mad Mary's daughter.
I love this plan.
Gee, I wonder why.
Because I suggested it.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. So, are you leaving the mansion here and going back north towards the tavern?
And I guess
Yeah.
we'll leave that letter in the crack of the door there.
I
Might need to take
grab
it
the
with
letter.
us.
She's
But I
not.
thought you...
Well, because she might just leave it out here and we could use it later.
All right. Off to the pub then.
All right. So you make your way back up towards the north, towards that central square, and you reach the tavern. And as you get a little bit closer to the sign, you realize that the sign said it was the Blood on the Vine Tavern, but you realize that it apparently used to read Blood of the Vine, and someone scratched out the F and wrote and painted an N over it, so that it says Blood
Before
on.
we get there,
Mhm.
I just kind of like, as we're walking, Perry, you got to understand this whole deception thing. Sometimes people don't want to tell us the truth. So we have to kind of convince them to do that. And the best way to do that is to tell them things that we know are false so that they can correct us. And
You know, the one thing I know is starting off a good relationship with a lie is just not going to do it.
I'm never going to get through to you. All right.
It's not a lie so much as a coaxing.
It's a method of communication.
Coax people,
like
Julius.
speaking another language.
How
I
do
use
you
a
coax
cookie.
people?
I use a cookie. It's not a lie.
Why
It's a
did you
taste.
offer her cookies?
Don't have any.
Oh, well,
Well, then what was wrong with Plan B?
yeah.
I thought we went through plans C and D by the time we were done. These people are scared. And they're scared of outsiders as much as they are of each other.
They're all paranoid.
Well, they might have reason to be.
Yeah, just because you're
And we-
paranoid doesn't mean you don't have a reason to be, but it makes
But
you
it does mean
act-
lying to them is going to probably turn them off. If they ever found out, or if they're a slight bit suspicious, so the lie isn't perfect.
All right, so we get to the pub, and
Yeah.
that's an interesting
With the
distinction.
with the changed name.
So as you enter, there's a blazing fire. Hang on, I got a new bit of ambiance.
It's on fire.
No, a blazing fire in the hearth gives scant warmth to the few huddled souls within. It looks like this tavern used to be pretty fancy, but it's kind of just been worn down over the years. You know, like there's sort of tracks worn in a sort of what looks like it must have been a nice rug. The fine wooden furniture has got just nicks and scratches in it that have not really been repaired. Paint is flaking here and there. But what you see inside is there's the bar with a man standing behind it, cleaning glasses and kind of staring into space. You see three women, middle-aged women, all dressed in kind of bright colors, sitting together in a corner. And then a young man in the at one of the other tables, is the only other person in there, and he actually looks up when he sees you come in and says, "Ah, newcomers! Please come join me. Let me buy your wine."
Now, this is a reception I can get used to.
Let me give you the handout of this guy. So I've just given you a new handout. Ismark the Lesser.
Lesser than what?
Lesser than Mark.
So
He's a child of a lesser god.
yeah. So he encourages you to come over and sit with him at his table. Says, yes, feel free to get a drink, and I will pay for it if you sit with me a while and
Well,
pass
hello,
the
friend.
evening.
Hello, friend. New friend.
Hello, I'm Ismark.
I'm Perry.
Lovely to meet you. I don't think I can recall seeing a halfling in quite some time.
Well, here I am, and I spread my arms wide and see, take a look.
Yes. Well, and clearly your friends are all from far away, I'm wagering. Certainly not within our lands. I can't recall seeing you ever in this village before, so I am always eager to talk to newcomers, particularly when they look as capable as you lot.
You don't seem to be quite as dour as the people we've met so far.
Well, I suppose I just have things to live for. Still, a lot of people in this... Yes, a lot of people in this town, this land, have been worn down by the darkness here.
By Strahd.
Yes, the Devil Strahd.
Tell us about him.
Please.
Is that his actual name? The
sit-
devil Strahd. I mean, is that like everybody says it that way?
I will be happy to discuss this. Please sit with me. Are you each getting a drink first, or who else?
Oh yes.
I'm sitting but not partaking.
Okay. Those of you who go and order a drink from the barkeep, he takes your orders and he kind of speaks in a dull, hollow voice. Glass of wine costs 1 copper piece. Pitcher of wine costs 1 silver piece. Ismark says, Eric, I will take care of their tab, whatever they like. Very well. He kind of stares into space, but he seems to be listening to you.
Only wine.
Wine.
Oh, it'll do.
Shall we get the picture?
Hell yes.
So
Pitcher of wine. Okay.
he fills a pitcher from a cask that he has behind him, sets it down on the bar, and then sets out a glass for each of you. Still kind of staring, and then he just goes back to cleaning the other glasses. The three women sitting at the other corner kind of giggle at something amongst themselves. And they're watching you as you kind of go around, but they haven't said anything else to you.
Can somebody else grab the pitcher? It's a little bit big
I've
for
got
my
it.
hands.
So you go to Ismark's table then, and the table's a little tall for you Perry, but you're probably used to it.
I'm used to it.
You each have the wine. Those of you who taste it, it's fair. It's not great, but it will get the job done. It's drinkable. It's,
I didn't take that today. Never mind.
middling. So the Ismark encourages you to come and says, I'm happy to speak with you about the Devil Strahd. I just prefer to do so in a slightly lower voice. He does have spies everywhere. As you ask, the Devil Strahd is not his name. Strahd von Zarovich is the lord of these lands, and we call him the Devil Strahd, for he may as well be the devil. He is evil. He's a monster. He's ruled over these lands for centuries. It seems to be his whim to take anything good away from any of us.
Well, that's not right. Oh, that's not bad wine.
Well,
What, excuse me, sorry. Went a little high there. Is the devil, is Strahd human?
I think he was once, perhaps. Now,
He's not anymore.
he is a vampire.
Oh, that's good to know.
And, I must confess, part of my excitement at your arrival is not simple curiosity, but I need someone's help. You see, my sister, my sister Irina she's been victimized by the Devil Strahd, and I need help transporting her to somewhere safer.
Wait, did you say Irina?
Yes.
So you're the Burgermaster's boy.
Yes, yes, Ismak Kolyanovich. I am the son of the Burgomaster.
So, in coming to the pub, it seems that we've found a friendly face related to the people we were trying to get in touch with. What a strange coincidence that would have been if we'd come here the first time.
You were trying to you were trying to come to my father. What do you mean?
Well, we received a letter. Well, technically, yes, received one, I suppose, and found another. And both of them mentioned your sister by name and her illness.
Illness is one way to put it.
That was one way they'd put it. The other one put it more in terms of falling prey to, well, I guess a vampire, I suppose.
May I see these letters?
Oh, I have one. Shadow over there's got the other.
Here you go. Take a look at these. I'm pretty sure you'll be able to tell which one belongs to your father, and I'm guessing, well, I've got a pretty good guess who the other might be from.
He looks at one, the second one you got, and says, "Yes, this is my father's handwriting. He sent one of our people out with this letter, hoping to warn people."
Well, you might say that the message was received, just not by as many people as you might think. The ones you're sitting at the table.
Was our man Dalian? Was he all right?
Was
No.
that his name? I'm afraid to say, probably not. All right. It seemed that the wolves had gotten to him, and then the crows had gotten to him, and probably something else too had crawled into him.
I had suspected as much.
Beset by dire wolves, not just wolves.
They're the
Right,
servants.
bigger ones.
They're the servants of the Devil Strahd. They work for him.
The other handwriting, is that Strahd's?
I don't know it. The crest on the seal is Strahd's crest, and my father did not write this letter. You see, by the second letter, the one that he did write, he felt he should warn people away.
Mm-hmm.
I am desperate for help from my sister, but my father wanted to warn people away, and you see, he never would have called for people. He never would have offered wealth to come here. No one should come here. We are cursed here.
Does anyone else live in the castle besides the Devil Strahd?
Well, he has his many servants and spies and prisoners.
Is he known to collect women?
Did the room just go quiet?
Yes, it
yeah, it's the repeating the.
Stop saying his name, the Devil Strahd. Stop saying it.
He who shall not be named.
Yes, and I fear that is his intent with my sister. She's been visited by him at our house twice and bitten. She still lives, but I must get her away before he steals her, takes her completely. I must
Now-
get her to Villaki. It's a town in the heart of the valley. It's well protected, has walls. I can only hope that she will be safer there. Our house has been assaulted every night.
Now, we spoke to someone we've heard a little bit about. We've spoke to a woman named Mary, and her daughter has also gone
Ah,
missing.
Mad Mary. That poor
Yes.
woman.
Why do people keep calling people stuff like that? It seems rather rude.
Well, Mary is well known to the village for her constant haranguing shouts from top floor of her house. She doesn't trust anyone, you see. She shouts and screams at people to stay away from her house and from her daughter, and I've no doubt that her daughter rebelled from that. Her, her mother, Mary, wouldn't let her hardly leave the house, and I suspect she just ran away. But there are many dangers that she could have fallen prey to. If she is missing now, I don't know where she might have gone.
Still, she might need a saving or two.
It could be. Mary, though,
And you know,
is, I I have pity for her, but she is mad. I think
How
that's
long
just a
ago
fact,
did her-
not an insult.
How long ago did her daughter go missing?
Well, I was not aware of her being missing at all, but I've also not gone out of my way to communicate with her recently.
has anything changed about a week ago?
Well, that was, there's the last visit, Strahd, to my sister was about a week ago, which is what inspired my father to send the letter. The other things have come and gone since then, but I am not aware of anything to do with Gertruda. I assumed she was still in the house with her mother.
Your mother called your sister a bad influence.
She would. She calls everyone a bad influence.
Well, hopefully not me.
I wouldn't know. I just met you. I'm hoping you're a good influence. I
Isn't it
use
obvious?
your help. Would you be able to escort me and my sister? There are many dangers, as I mentioned, in these lands, and I fear that if I were to try to transport her on my own, that we would have no chance whatsoever of making it to a safer place.
Tell us again about where you want to take her, how far away it is, what direction.
The town of Vallaki is northwest of here. It's in the heart of the valley. It's perhaps only a few hours travel from here, but over some dangerous passes and through dark places. And as I mentioned, the Devil Strahd wants her. To be out in the open is to take a risk.
Why wouldn't you want to remove her from Barovia altogether?
I take it you haven't tried to leave yet.
We only
good
just got
influence.
here.
No one can make their way through the mists. There is no leaving.
Well, it's always the first time.
I'm sorry to be the one to share that news with you.
Although it does mean my bar tab won't be worried about.
Well, to be sure, I would be happy to buy all the wine you like if you would be so good as to help me with my sister. We just need to get her to Vallaki, somewhere she'll be safe. I believe that Vallaki is the place.
When do you want to go?
Well, I think if we were to leave now, it would be difficult to make it before nightfall, and that could be dangerous. It's not safe during the day, but it's certainly less safe at night. I think if we left in the morning, we would have the best chance. The servants of Strahd have not assaulted our house in the last few days. I think it should be quiet tonight.
Um, should we post guards? Should we post watches around the house to overnight?
Well, I think maintaining awareness is would be wonderful. I mean, my sister and I, and the last few days have been hard. The two of us, haven't been getting as much sleep as we once might have, and any assistance in keeping us protected would be very valuable. The devil Strahd, his servants are everywhere, his spies are everywhere. He actually gives a little bit of a suspicious glance at the three women in the corner, who are just unashamedly just watching you guys while they drink their wine.
We even smile.
Who lives with you? I assume that you live in the burgomaster's house at the south end of the town. But is it just you and your sister? Is your mother still alive? Is
No.
your father?
He looks a little bit hesitant to say this, but he does continue. Says, I did live there with my father, the burgomaster, and my sister, but just these 3 days past, my father succumbed. He fright of the nightly assaults did him in. His heart gave out.
Oh dear.
I'm sorry to hear that.
We've not even been able to have him buried.
My condolences.
That must smell.
Easy,
Well.
Tom.
We... Yes.
I don't want to promise you anything right away. We'll talk about what you need, and we'll give you our answer before nightfall.
Isn't this what we came here for?
Yes.
I'm gonna invite.
Discuss among ourselves for a
I'm gonna
moment.
wave them to
Of course.
join me outside, and I go outside.
Okay.
Is there anything left in the pitcher?
No, you drank it all.
You drank it all. No, it's all gone. Yeah.
So as you kind of he is, invites you to say, it's fine to take all the time you need, but with just the last mention of, but we don't want to travel at night, but as soon as possible would be best.
So, did we get an answer as to who the angry woman at your house is?
I think that was probably his sister.
Yes,
Ah, Gotcha.
my sister has good reason to be distrusting.
I don't
wait,
think she
that
likes
was
us.
her. Oh,
Where-
that was a terrible first impression.
So you're stepping outside?
Yeah.
And just as you open the door, you realize that sitting on the ground, like almost right outside the door, there's like 4 or 5 ravens that seem like they were just standing next to each other, looking in towards the door, and then they sort of squawk and fly away as you open the door. And Julius, you recognize that image, like you realize that's what it was. That's what you saw.
Yes. That was in. I dreamt that very scene.
You dreamt it.
Yes. I need to step aside. I think I should talk to those ladies who were observing us while we were in there, and find out what it was about us that they found so interesting, because I'm not sure that their interest was entirely benevolent.
What do you do that?
What aren't you telling us, Julius?
Call it a hunch.
All
Scream
right.
if you need backup.
I trust you, but I'm not far away.
Good to know.
All right. So
I'll be back inside.
So yes, Julius heads back inside. You guys are out in this town square again.
Is it empty? Like any animals, people?
Here and there, like at the end of a street or something, you'll see a few people out and about. They're all kind of sort of very pale and sort of tends to have dark coloring in terms of the hair, and all the clothing is very dour and sort of gray. And they kind of seem to be going about their business. But anytime any of them come like anywhere near you, you get sort of very disapproving stares, but they keep their distance.
Okay. So in hushed tones, and I'm not going to whisper because my voice hurts enough as it is.
Just real quick, I have to take off now.
Oh, okay.
So let me know what happens. I'll see you later.
Fun.
Yep.
Bye.
I think it's equally likely that he's in earnest and he is working to bring his sister to Strahd.
Even if he's in earnest, I feel as if taking her to another location is just delaying the inevitable.
I don't
If
see.
we're stuck here. We need to take Strahd down.
Well, I think there's some more immediate problems. If she's ill, treat that first. If she dies in the meantime,
She sounded pretty vigorous when we were at the front door.
if that was her. And the illness that's taken her is not exactly the same as a stomach flu.
If he's creating some sort of hold and control on her, if we eliminate him, the hold would be gone. The illness would be gone.
I don't think there's any advantage to be gained in doing as he says. However, if we go to the town that he mentioned and find that there is some sanctuary there of some kind, then perhaps maybe we can come back. But I wouldn't want to do this without knowing what that place is like. I mean, has he no friends here he can talk to? If it's that important and he's that trustworthy, then the people who know him should be willing to help him get his sister to safety. If it's safe. If he's the only one that thinks that place is safe, if he's the only one that thinks that's a good idea, then I don't think it's a good idea either.
These people are oppressed. They've been under a terrible ruler for some of them generations. They're scared and they're paranoid and they're just not willing to trust.
And this guy is different for some reason.
His
How come he
sister-
isn't acting like that?
His sister is in danger. You'll do things for family. It will inspire you to do things better, do things that you could never think possible otherwise.
Yeah, and family can also betray you. I don't think we should help this guy. Not right away. Not without learning more.
I don't know if we have time. And if we take his sister and him to this village, we'll find out just the same as what you said, without having to waste hours. If time is of the essence, and we wait, and we go to this village and come back, it may be too late. And I don't want to wager that young girl's life on it.
The sooner we would leave, as soon as we would leave would be tomorrow morning. Correct?
He was thinking tonight.
No, he said tomorrow.
Tomorrow morning, then.
Yes, because we were to post guards tonight
All right.
and wouldn't leave till tomorrow. He does not trust the night.
So
Likely
we wouldn't make it
because
there tonight either.
That's a vampire's domain.
So it's not all that urgent. I still don't trust him.
It's urgent enough. And we'll have to see what happens tonight. Maybe tonight's another visit, I don't know. I do say that I'm not afraid of the darkness while the light is at my back. And the thunder is at my back.
The houses closest to the burgomaster's house, when we went past them, did they look inhabited?
Some did and some don't. A lot of the houses, maybe 1 and 3, look like they're just completely boarded up and potentially vacant. Another third maybe seem occupied, and then there's some that you can't tell. Like they don't seem like barricaded or boarded up, but you don't see any signs of activity in them either.
Okay.
Oh, that one's the pub. I thought it was the big red brick building.
Oh
Did I
yeah.
get
In
it wrong?
fact, actually, for that matter, the I can reveal some of the. We've got a couple more of these. The women and the and Ismark. I'm revealing on the map.
Oh,
If I can. Trying to. Yeah. So the.
huh.
Yeah.
Is there an eraser?
There is. All you have to do is select, using the select tool, select what you drew, and you can just hit delete.
Yeah.
You can also move it.
Yeah.
Yep. So you guys are currently, yeah, in or just outside that building in sort of this square.
Okay.
So we're waiting for morning, regardless. Then.
Yeah.
I was thinking of making camp in that small house directly in front of the burgomaster's house if there's nobody there.
Yeah.
If it's vacant, moving in there and just seeing what happens overnight.
Now,
I think that's a good idea.
Ismark said he wasn't living at the Burgermaster's place.
No, he lives there.
He lives there, so we
Yeah.
might be able to live there too.
Yeah.
Not with her as angry as she is. Better to give her some time to cool off before, if we decide to take her with us and escort her to this new town, better to give her a night to cool off.
Well, it's also possible she didn't trust you because she didn't know you. If you were with her brother, that might make a difference.
Also,
Also-
it's getting late enough that she might be suspicious of anybody coming close. So maybe meeting under the light of the sun would be better.
Right
Do we
now,
want to look in on-
it's like maybe mid-afternoon.
Do we want to look on Mary this evening then? She may be traumatized by all that's gone on, but she's still a person.
I would be interested in going and helping her to fortify her house. If we broke in as easily as we did.
There weren't any marks outside your house, though, eh?
No one's actually interested in getting in there, but we could board it up a little bit better than she had, and it wouldn't take us much time at all.
That house that we passed on the way to the Burgermaster, the one that Jezrich is interested in, did it seem like it was abandoned?
That one. Hang on, let me pull up my. Have to because there's a couple of things that I have for what can happen in the houses and stuff like that. Let me pull that up. Not- Sorry, I'm just trying to find the.
I can rotate stuff and everything.
I have to step out for just a bit, but I will
Okay.
be back.
All right. Okay. Yeah. So that house, as you checked by, it was one that it was not barricaded, but it also didn't seem to have any. There was no smoke coming from the chimney or anything.
Okay. So it looked like it might be abandoned.
Yeah,
We
could
can
be.
go out and yell and see if anybody comes out or complains.
How old does the construction of these buildings look?
They all
Does it look
look.
like they're all centuries old?
Yeah.
Okay, so it looks like nothing new's been built since Strahd came.
Not in a long time for sure. Everything looks very. Not only is it an older style, but everything looks very worn down. Like it's not really even well maintained. Or rather, people may be doing the best they can, but it's, it's a definitely old construction. And everything looks worn, and there's rotting wood everywhere. anything that was once painted is flaking and faded.
I feel a little bad for my bad maintenance comment earlier, but oppression doesn't inspire good maintenance. Shall we take a look at your house, Jazrick? See if we're going to move in.
Yes, let's take a look in that place.
Maybe I'll just
So
get a little bit of wine for the walking over.
All right.
I go back inside, see that Julian's engaged with them, and go into the bar.
Okay. You when you go back to the okay, well, so first of all, Perry, when you go back in and look into the tavern, you see Ismark look up again, like he's anticipating that maybe you guys have come back with an answer already. And you see the three women give you kind of a smile. You do not see Julius.
Well, first I go to the bar, and I get a bottle to go, if they have bottles. They don't have bottles. Damn. I'll get a mug, a cup to go, and then I'll go over to see Ismark. We've got a bit of walking around to do to make sure we're entirely certain about what's happening.
Do be cautious. As I mentioned, the Devil Strahd has his spies everywhere.
Yes, well, we'll watch out for that.
In particular, the wolves and bats. They are all his.
Well, not all of them. We got a friendly one with us. I don't think that it takes kindly to Strahd things.
Well, I do hope then he is not able to make it his own, as he has all the others in this land.
Well, that's a disturbing thought. I'll mention that to Honor immediately. But first of all, my brother went in here, and he's not anywhere to be seen. Have you spotted him?
Your brother?
He's a much taller guy. Julius, I think he said his name was.
He was with you before, and then you
Yes,
all
he's-
left.
He stepped back in for a moment. Perhaps he went to the loo, or
He looks around, kind of confused. I'm not sure I know what you mean. You all left together just a moment ago.
well, yes, that's true. And then he stepped back in, and assume he hasn't fallen over somewhere.
When? I don't recall. He's not here. I don't know.
No, I can see he's not
He-
here. That's why I'm wondering where he went
Just a
to.
moment ago,
Yes.
I didn't see him.
Is there a back door or a loo?
There is a back door, but he would have had to come through here.
Maybe you were deep in your cups or your thoughts straggling over your sister. I can understand that.
I suppose if your friend was trying to be silent, I still feel like I would have seen him, but I suppose it's possible.
He's got one of those faces. You said there's a back door. Is there a loo?
Yes, through there, and he kind of just points around, one of the corners,
Well,
where
then.
there's a little hallway there.
I'm a tiny man and I take the glass and down it. A lot of this decent enough wine. I think I have to take a bit of a break. I'll be back.
All right.
And I go off to the loo.
Okay. In the meantime, have you, Jasric, and the others gone to check out that house?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so you guys made your way to that house and kind of peeked in the windows, and it was sort of dark. You didn't really see anything. Do you listen at the door, or are you just opening the door and going in, or it's not barricaded like the other some of the other houses are?
I'll go inside because I've got dark vision, so I should
Okay.
be able to see even without even without a torch.
Okay. You open the door, and as the light spills in from outside, you see that there are actually there's a man and a woman and a young child who are kind of sitting around a table in the room, and they kind of look up startled as you enter, and they kind of don't hurt us, don't hurt us.
Oh, don't worry. I won't hurt you. My companions and I were looking for a place to stay for the night, and we did not see.
Well, this is our house. This is our house. You can't stay here.
All right, fair enough. I apologize for bothering you. Do you mind if I ask you one very quick question?
What? What is it?
There are a number of houses that I've seen throughout the town that have boarded up windows and doors, but you have chosen not to board up your windows or doors. Can you explain why this would be?
Well, I mean, we have to live our lives, don't we?
Of course.
We we use our windows and doors.
Certainly. Well, thank you very much. I do apologize for barging in the way I did. I am totally sorry. And I will just bow to them and make my way out.
They kind of watch you go. All right.
So bad enough that to be just walked in on, but for someone walking in on them who looks like me. Mm-hmm. So I'm not entirely surprised that they were startled. Mm-hmm. The horns and the tail.
Oh.
Yeah, next time let the little guy do it.
Well, he's up at the pub. He was up at the pub looking for a loo, so I figured I'd take this one on the chin.
What could possibly be misconstrued about a devil wine in your house? I mean,
all right. I had hoped to be able to keep an eye on the burgomaster's house overnight from one of these houses, but
that one apparently is occupied.
Yep.
All right, so did you went to use the loo there, Perry?
Well, I was also looking to see if Julius had also taken the same turn, but yes, I do need to.
Nope.
All right, while I relieve and contemplate, I'll say a quick prayer to Lathander for guidance.
As you are kind of in that back hallway, one of the women who was at the other table, one of them kind of creeps up on you, not like super sneaky, but just she comes up from behind you and kind of taps you on the shoulder, says, "If you're looking for the tall one, he dashed through and left through the back door, just as you suspected."
This isn't the loo. He's approaching me, and then that's just the hallway. Just wanted to double check there.
Yeah. I'm assuming you were not literally in the bathroom. You were.
When they said the loo, I guess it was this hole over here with no doors. Well, I thank you very kindly, miss. What was your name? Sorry, I didn't catch it.
Hang on, I have that. Sorry, where is this? I am Alenka, little one. I own this place with my sisters, Mirabelle and Sorvia.
Oh, it's your place then. Well,
yes.
I must say, the wine is quite tasty.
Well, I'm glad you like it. We do what we can. We used to have some finer vintages, but we've not been able to get any deliveries of those recently. Something's gone wrong at the Wizard of the Wine winery, I suppose.
Oh, that's terrible.
Yes.
Whereabouts is this winery?
It's to the west of here. I've never been there myself. Usually the delivery driver comes through, but he hasn't been by.
Oh, that's a tragedy. What will happen if you run out of wine?
Indeed. There's a lot of people in this town who the only thing that gets them through the day is their wine. It's the lifeblood of Barovia, don't you know?
Well, that's kind of what the sign said, so I figured. But, well, you know, I may be in the area for a little while, and, while I found a patron today to provide me with a little bit of a daily supply, I may not be able to keep the affording all the time, so perhaps we can work out something. I might, if I'm by this winery, maybe I can put it a good word and find out what's happening, and maybe they can, in turn, provide me with a small staple.
Well, if the deliveries have stopped, that does suggest some sort of a problem there, and if you were to help them with that problem, I've no doubt that there would be a reward in order.
Well then, I mean, no monetary reward is necessary, but maybe a dram or two here and there.
Too bad I'm not there to warn them what they'd be getting into.
Where does he put it all?
Halflings are bigger on the inside than they are.
Yeah.
That's what I said. Did she give the name of the winery?
The Wizard of the Wines Winery.
Oh, I like that name. Okay.
Wizard of Wine, rather. Not the wines.
Until then, though, I must go seek after my friend.
Yes, he seemed like he was in an awful hurry. Ismark the Lesser. Of course he wouldn't notice. He's a pale shadow of his father.
Well, it's always hard to escape the shadow of your father, especially if they're several feet taller.
Especially if you're as weak-willed as that one.
You don't say. He seemed all right to me. Worried as he is, of course. It seemed like most people are.
He seemed like a soft touch.
Well, gentleness is to be rewarded with kindness, not besmirched.
Who am I to argue with such an optimistic worldview?
Oh, well. I don't mean it as an argument. I don't mean to offend, but the sun shines on us all.
Not around here.
Oh, and I wink with that little glint in my eye. Maybe it will.
She kind of is looks a little bit tickled with the wink, but just says,
Woo-hoo.
"Be careful around here."
As I will, Lady Alenka, and maybe I'll see you again soon.
Maybe.
Now, out the back door.
She goes and goes back to her sisters there, and you come out the back door into kind of the little alley. It's deserted. You don't see Julius anywhere.
I'll call out for him. Julius! You can pee inside, you know. Nothing?
Nope. Although you do actually look, and there seem to be footprints in the mud outside. But they, there's a couple of footprints in the mud immediately, but they don't. You can't follow the trail for very long. It just kind of slips into the hundreds of other footprints that have been stomped through the mud of this alley.
Now, where the blazes did he go? Well, if I can't see any way to follow him and he's not anywhere in sight, I guess I'd better circle back to find the rest. Maybe he's gone back there. You know what? I went to the washroom. I bet you he went out the front door when I wasn't looking. Bloody hell. Not again.
All right, so what are the rest of you doing after you found that one house was occupied?
I don't feel like leaving Perry for too long, so gonna
Head back there and try to catch up with him?
Do any of the other houses, like the one just up above the whoops out occupied, is that one unoccupied?
That one looks like it's boarded up.
Okay. And the one on the west side of the street?
That one looks like it's another one like the one you were just in, that it does not seem to be barricaded in any way. Um, in fact,
And if,
you see that there is a trickle of smoke coming from the chimney there.
okay. All right. Well, so much for that idea.
You do probably hear Perry calling for Julius because it's not
Yep.
that far.
All right. We'll follow. We'll go trace back up there and meet up with him again.
Okay.
And,
Are you going back into the tavern?
Yes. And and investigating the wine. When I hear about the winery, I am much more keen to investigate that than to get involved with the burgomaster's kids.
So where are you guys having that conversation? Do you go into the tavern? Because Ismark is still sitting in there in that common room waiting for you to come back.
Yeah, no, I'm expecting to meet Perry outside.
Okay.
Well, in hilariousness, I'm walking around the outside of the building.
Yeah.
But are the rest coming that way? Will I see
Yeah.
them?
We all go up. We follow the sound of your voice to find you.
Yeah.
Well, at least I haven't lost you, too. My brother seems to have wandered a little.
Does he do this often?
Often's a strange word to use sometimes. It implies that I know what he does all the time, and I don't. But
In your experience,
no,
has he done this before?
not really.
Okay, I think we should worry.
No, I'm sure it's just something simple.
You never want to worry.
Well, it doesn't really serve much of a purpose.
If I go missing, worry about me. Come looking for me.
Well, I may go looking for you, but I'm not going to worry. You can take care of yourself. Besides, how can I tell when you're a bear? You might be the one that's attacking me, and I realize, oh, it's not you, it's a bear, and there I was going up after you.
What?
Can we put a bell on you or something?
When I'm in bear form, I won't attack you. That's how you'll know it's me.
Unless you try to put a saddle on her.
Yeah. Don't try that.
Once. Saddle's a bit small, is all.
I just realized my ambiance finished and didn't restart. Yeah.
Eerie silence. No, I was talking to Alenka inside. One of the three ladies there sitting by the side of the bar. Those three own the bar. Always good to know the people that own the bar, I will tell you this. But she told me that they're having a bit of a problem. The wine hasn't come in for a while. I have a bit of a feeling that I might have had a bit more than the average customer too, which may have made them wonder whether they're going to run out of wine sooner rather than later. Still, the heart of a community is the center of joviality, and a bar like this, especially in a place so dour and depressed as this, is important. I'm not saying we drop everything to go see it, but if we do happen to go the way of the Wizard of Wine, then with word from Alenka, we might just be able to find out what's going on, and in the end, be rewarded for our good deed.
It's an interesting name for a vineyard.
Well, I've known some people who brew something close to magic, so this works for me. As for Julius, I'm not sure where exactly he went. They said they went out the back alley, but I can see nothing of his foots. Oh, well, or rather, I see everybody's foots, and they're all mixed together.
Can we look and see?
Basically, you see what he did is that there is a pretty clear trail that does look plausibly like Julius's footsteps, but as it goes from the back door of the tavern into the road, it's impossible to distinguish it from the other footsteps in the muddy road.
Oh boy. So I have a suggestion. No more splitting up.
Aye, that might be sound advice.
I'm thinking.
Still, I'm not going to the loo with two.
You know, some people like that. I'm thinking perhaps we should stand guard in the burgomaster's house and just, have to get Ismark to get his sister to let us in. Otherwise, we're not going to be able to stand watch very well unless we're just standing outside all night, and that doesn't appeal to me.
I've seen the scratches on the door. I don't really want to face what made them. So does that mean we're decided then? We're going to help?
That was my suggestion. I don't decide for y'all.
I still have my doubts about Ismark.
I have my doubts about Ismark as well.
So did Alenka. Called him weak-willed. Didn't seem too weak-willed to me. I sense they don't get along.
I'm thinking though that making it through the night, we're likely to do better keeping an eye on his sister than anything else. Staying the night does not mean we're taking her to that town tomorrow. We
Right.
have the whole night to decide that.
Right. So let's help them repel whatever might come after them overnight, and then in the morning go and check out that winery.
And while they haven't been able to bury his father, maybe I can put at least his soul to rest for the moment. Say a few nice words over him.
That'd be nice. Maybe burn a little incense, something to get rid of the smell.
Yes. Like that.
Shall we inside then to tell Ismark that at least... I'm still worried about Julius. Ismark didn't even see him come through. He did go in, didn't he? I wasn't imagining that part. The wine
He
was
went
good.
in.
But
He went
not that
in,
good.
and you said the ladies saw him, but Ismark says he didn't.
Maybe he's been having
Wait, there
more
were
wine than
three
I have.
ladies inside, and how many ravens were outside when we walked out?
5.
Okay.
Besides, wasn't it the owls and the wolves? Or the bats? Bats.
The bats and the wolves is what Ismark said.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. About the wolves.
Yes.
Anubis here.
Yes.
I look at the wolf as much as look at you. She's okay, right?
Oh, he's fine.
Ismark suggested that we might have to keep an eye on him. The wolves, I guess, work for Strahd. And if there's some sign that he's been able to warp people's minds, there may be some sign that he'll be able to affect your wolves too.
I don't think that should be a problem, but thank you for the warning.
And look straight at the wolf's eyes and do that whole 2 hands on the side of the face. Who's a good boy?
Slurp. He slurps her face.
Yeah.
Got rid of the wine stain.
Anubis likes wine.
Now, in to give Ismark the good news at least, that for tonight we can watch over them.
Yeah. Come on in, Chatty Cathy.
Right. So as you re-enter, Ismark looks up again and just kind of lights up a little bit to see the group of you. Did you find your friend?
I'm sure he just went for a small walk around your little town to see the lay of the land.
Well, I hope that he is careful. Have you come to a decision then? Will you help me?
I look over at Jazric, who seems to be the one the most concerned.
We've decided to look into the situation. We're not sure that transporting your sister is necessarily the best solution at this point. In fact, I'd like to talk to her before we agree to anything. However, we have agreed amongst ourselves that staying with you tonight, staying in your house tonight to help repel any assault that might come through your barricades would be something we can all agree on.
Very well. I appreciate that, and I think that your hesitancy speaks to a caution that is going to be a valuable trait for you in these lands that you are unfamiliar with so far, but being careful is definitely wise. I would be happy to bring you home. You can meet Irina, and we can discuss our plans. As I mentioned, my plan was that I hope that Valaki would be a safer place for her, but if you have additional ideas, I'm very open. I fear that it's only a matter of time if we remain here. And I hope that tonight will be quiet, although we have been assaulted. It has been a reprieve of somewhat since my father succumbed to his fear. We've not been assaulted since these 3 nights since. So I hope that tonight will continue that pattern. But having you on hand in case that's not what happens I'd be very appreciative. So, are you ready?
Lead the way.
I can. All right. And so he goes up and he pays the tab for the wine that he's had and for you, and then leads you back outside. You go south in the direction that you had been before, of course, back down to the mansion. And as he approaches, he goes up and knocks, knock, knock, knock. Irina, it's me, Ismark. And you hear her kind of suspicious. Ismark, are those strangers with you? He says, yes, I believe that they may be willing to help us. Do you trust them? I think so. They seem to be people of character. All right then. And you hear like a big sort of heavy brace moving away from the door, and then the door opens, and I'll give you a handout of this is what Irina looks like.
Well,
She is a striking woman with auburn hair. She is wearing a breastplate and has a sword that she's holding up, like, just to be careful. She is, young and beautiful and looking pretty suspicious. She smiles to see Ismark, though, and says, "Do we have a plan? What are we doing? We have to bury Father." And Ismark welcomes all of you in and rebraces the door after you close it. Let's see. Once you enter, the interior of the mansion is well furnished, yet the fixtures show signs of great wear. Noticeable oddities are the boarded up windows and the presence of holy symbols in every room, signs of the sun of the morning lord. And you see that there's a side drawing room just off to one side, and lying in a simple wooden coffin surrounded by wilting flowers and a faint odor of decay is apparently the dead burgomaster.
Well, I smile to see all that is Lathander's sign, isn't it?
The morning lord? Is that Lathander?
Yeah, that's him.
That is indeed.
We
one of them.
know we know him as the Morning Lord. This is his symbol.
Is it similar to the one that I carry?
Yes, it does look like theirs look like very old-fashioned versions,
Indeed,
but recognizably the same.
As I mentioned before, I'm a follower of the Lathander. I didn't think to use some of his older words.
Yes, well, we have the holy symbols up with the hope that would prevent Strahd or his unholy servants from entering, but and she sort of hesitates, and Ismark says, the vampire cannot enter without being invited, but he has a way of convincing you to invite him. And my sister, though she is a formidable woman, Irina, and she's like, yes, I've twice been visited by Strahd. She kind of leans over and kind of pulls the breastplate away a little bit, and you can see that there are definitely
If
fang
you can,
marks on her neck.
if you
Says,
can come down to my height, dear, I'd love to take a closer look.
she kneels and allows you to look and say, they don't seem to heal.
Now, can I do a medicine check?
Yeah. And you can also do a religion check if you want.
There
Right.
they are.
That's terrible.
So the wounds look like they're not actively bleeding, but otherwise they could have happened this morning. They seem very recent, just in terms of like a normal medicine check. But at the same time, they're not like actively bleeding right now. From your religion check, you do notice. I mean, you've heard stories of vampires before, and though you probably don't have any like direct experience with them. Like this does seem in keeping with what you have heard.
It doesn't look too bad, dear. I'm sure we might be able to do something.
Well, he hasn't taken me. It's every time he visits, it's fuzzy. He does something, and I can't help. I don't know, but all I can really remember is this just blazing hunger in his eyes. I think the next time he visits me, I don't. I think he may take me along with him the next time.
Well, I pat her on the hand. We're going to see what we can do to make sure that doesn't happen.
Yes. To Velaki then. I know that's what Ismark wants.
What do you want?
Well, if there is a place that is safe, that's what I want. I
Do you
just
think
don't
the
know.
Locky is safe?
I have not been there. I know that they have walls. I don't know if it's safe. I don't know if there's anywhere that's safe. But I know that this house is no longer safe. We've tried to barricade it and repel the unholy servants that Strahd has sent against us. Ghouls and zombies and wolves, skeletons. It's terrifying. My father couldn't bear it any longer, as you see.
When
But
did those assaults start compared to when you received those wounds? Did you barricade after the first of those two appeared, or did that happen after you were barricaded in?
the first visit happened before the assaults did. But he's come many times since, and there was a second time that he gained entrance and Ismark kind of interrupts and says, we believe that there's just the two times that he has managed to bite her, but there have been many nights where he sends his servants to terrify us.
So, did the first one came before you were barricaded?
Yes.
Did the second one come while you were barricaded, or was that also before?
No, that he was able to. I don't know exactly how he did it, because vampires they must be invited, but I don't know if he managed to catch her eye perhaps through one of the barricades and charmed her, and this is why it's not safe. This is why we're not safe here. The barricades have so far kept out his other creatures, but he has managed to get in.
I am suspicious that he's lying and that he in fact was the one who let let.
Yeah, you want to make an insight check?
Yes,
Go
I
ahead.
do.
You guys can all do that if you want.
14.
All right.
18.
Right. Yeah, with a couple of 18s, um, you guys are pretty sure he's telling the truth. He seems earnest and genuinely afraid and worried about his sister.
Looking at the body of the father, like they said he died of fright, but can we tell what he died from?
You can make a medicine check.
That was my next goal too. So
Harry, you want to help me out with this one?
Yeah, you can make it with advantage if you're helping each other.
And
Oh, okay, cool.
I'm going to invite
Work together.
Honor to.
oh,
6 and 6, boy, that's
can I do it on my own?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we each have
well-
advantage.
y-
No?
So I'll let Perry make a single roll,
No.
not at
Okay.
advantage, because your advantage wasn't helped.
I assumed advantage was
yeah.
we each rolled and then we choose
Yeah.
whose roll.
It's a little bit. Well, it's the 2 rolls, right? There's a 6 and a
Gotcha.
6, and those are the 2.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'll know for next time.
Yeah, that's all right. That's that's the 5th edition thing. So that's why there's 2 numbers. Is
Yeah.
it's automatically rolling twice, and then for advantage you pick the higher, but you ended up with the same number for both. But what I'll say is that he's been dead for a couple of days, and it's hard to know for sure. But at least from a preliminary inspection, without like taking his clothes off and everything, you don't see any signs of violence. There's no wounds or anything.
Okay.
While they're doing that, I'm going to take Honor aside and say, why don't we check with Ismark and see where they want to have him buried. There's probably a family plot in the back somewhere. Let's go see about doing that.
All right.
All right. So you approach Ismark, and you're just asking where he wants to be buried. Ismark says, "Well, the only place that would be safe is in the hallowed ground of the church cemetery on the north of town. Father Donovich could perform the ceremony and ensure that the sacrament prevents our father from
Yes.
rising again."
So while they're
Yes.
talking, strange enough, I'm walking around the body at the moment performing a ritual.
Okay.
Okay. Honor, why don't we go get those arrangements started while they prepare the body?
I'm just reading the at a character. I'm just reading the necromancy ritual.
Yeah. Gentle repose. It's a good
Yeah.
spell. Although it's let's see.
It's a ritual, so I don't have to have it prepared.
Oh yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. So let's see. Protected from decay. Okay. So it will. It won't have changed the amount of decay there's already been.
No.
But it will keep it from further decaying for the duration of the spell, 10 days.
Okay.
All right. So. Okay. You guys are gonna go to the church to
Yes.
try to get that initiated. Are you?
Yes.
Are you guys gonna try to bring the body with you, or you're just going ahead?
We're going ahead while they do the ritual and
Okay.
get it ready for transport and all that kind
Oh.
of stuff.
Yeah.
My mistake. I cannot cast it because you have to prepare these to actually use them as rituals for clerics. That's something I didn't realize.
Oh, I've always understood that if you do it as a ritual, you don't need to have it prepared. That was always my understanding, but maybe let's see. Ritual casting. Oh yeah. If you're right, for a cleric it says cast as a ritual if the spell has a ritual tag and you have the spell prepared. So
Yeah, I'm surprised.
yeah.
So
if
I do not
you
do
take
that.
a long rest and take that spell, then you could.
Yep, tomorrow.
All right. So Honor, are you and Jasric going to the church on your own, or?
Well, unless somebody else has any reason to come with us, I was just going to take honor, but
I think you two should go together.
Mhm.
Don't separate. And
Yep.
Perry and I'll keep the fort here.
Mhm.
And if
Yep.
you happen to see Julius, back here, please.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna
So-
ask Anubis to keep a nose out for him.
Okay.
And since it's starting to get late in the afternoon, and we probably want to get this done as early as possible, we're going to hurry.
All right.
Mhm.
So, they, Irina and Ismark both expressed their gratitude that you're willing to help with this. Irina just says, "Yeah, I couldn't bear the thought that we might leave without putting our father to rest, especially given that this place, the dead do not rest easy unless they are laid to rest in a holy place." And so you leave and you make your way north towards it's back towards that central square, but then as you continue north, kind of bear to the left a little bit, you do see the church in the distance. So, let's see. We do have a map for that. Let me set that up real quick.
Well, we've got a half an hour left in our.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm keeping an eye on it.
Okay.
Let me make sure I've got the. Okay. I have to set it just because this map has two parts, one of which you would be able to see first, and the other one not. Oh, but yeah, I forgot Linus on there. Okay. So, I'm going to. So I think that if I'm right, only Jasric and Honor will be able to see on this map once I switch to it. So the rest of you might just have to deal with the black screen for a little bit. Okay, so do you guys see the outside of the church, or are you seeing like all black?
All black right now.
All black. Yep.
Okay.
Zoomed out so I make sure I can see the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, so okay. Oh, yeah, okay. First of all, let me put you not on the GM layer. Is it the same? You can still only.
Mhm.
Okay.
Only black.
Yeah, hang on. Why is it not? Okay. Okay, so Nobilis, do you see a little bit of the outside of the church or no?
Nope. Still all black here.
Huh. Interesting, because you all should have, like, you should both be able to see like the front of the outside of this place.
Nope.
Oh, well, okay. I know. I'm saying that. I'm saying you should because of the setting. I'm not redisputing what you've just told me. Okay. How about now?
Nope.
Still nothing?
Nothing.
Okay. Yikes. Okay. Anything?
I'm reloading the page.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll do the same.
I didn't mean to actually do that.
It's taking a while to reload, so.
Maybe this will do it.
Why? Because when I click on the command that tells me like what you should be able to see, I see the front of the church like it should be working for you, and it's set to like your token is set to having sight. Um, oh, hang on, sorry.
There, we see
There,
something.
yeah. I saw what was wrong. Um, Let me fix that. Come on.
I see a token for myself and a little tiny white line.
Hang on just a second. Um, um, okay.
Oh, there I am.
Yeah, so do you only see your token and just a line?
Yes.
Like, what do you mean a line?
It looks like there's only a tiny. It's like there's a gap in between the layers, and you can kind of see, like a dark gray with a light gray, and then a. It really does. It looks like just like a gap between
Okay.
the layers.
Why would it do that? This is like it. Okay, because like everything that I can do on my end tells me you should be able to see the outside of the church. You know, like the path and the like the steps and grass around it, and just not into the building. Um, because I'm trying to figure out. What? So first of all, try. Can you move your token? Try moving it like up or down a little bit. Each of you. Yeah. Okay.
Yep. Oh, hey, that made it bigger.
It made it bigger.
What I could see once I passed the line,
Yeah.
it looked like I could see inside. I'm not going to say what I saw,
Okay.
but
Well, yeah. So like each of you can enter. Like. Oh, hang on. I want to try. Here, let me try something.
It's like a fog of war being revealed or
It
something.
Yeah.
well, it's clearly something's happening here that it's not like it's. Why is it? You should be able to see the outside though, and I don't know why. Oh, let's see. Oh, okay. So
Okay,
that's,
now I can see some.
yeah.
I
okay.
can see a corner on the left.
Yeah.
A little
So I
chunk.
don't know why it's doing what it's doing.
Ah, there we go.
There we go. Whee!
Okay. So now, do you still only see in the
We can
like
see the whole
out-
front.
the whole front,
Yeah.
but not inside?
Right.
Right.
Okay, good. So it should be doing what it's supposed to be doing now. I don't know why it was set that way, but good. All right, we're back where we need to be here.
And to confirm, this is something that Nadi and I aren't seeing because I'm just seeing black, and I'm
Right,
assuming
because you guys aren't there.
Okay, perfect.
Yep. So you approach the church here atop a slight rise against the roots of the pillar stone that supports. Ooh, interesting. That's incidentally, as you're making your way across town, you notice that this mist that's kind of everywhere kind of parts just a little bit, and you realize that to the north of this city, you can see atop a mountain and this enormous, like, it's
Bum,
just
bum,
looms
bum.
over the city. You see just a glimpse of this really gloomy castle above it. But the stone of this sort of mountain cliff that it's on continues down the hill, and so against the roots of this pillar stone that supports Castle Ravenloft stands a gray, sagging edifice of stone and wood. The church has obviously weathered the assaults of evil for centuries on end and is worn and weary. A bell tower rises toward the back, and flickering light shines through holes in the shingled roof. The rafters strain feebly against their load. And as you approach the church doors, the heavy wooden doors of the church are covered with claw marks and scarred by fire. Are you moving to go inside?
Looks like the burgomaster's house isn't the only place that's being assaulted.
Yeah.
Let's have a
This
look.
one. Yeah, this one seems to be weathering the assault a little bit more viciously.
All right.
So are you
The
moving?
doors are closed.
They're
Are they?
closed. Yeah.
They probably push inward.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm
Yeah.
going to just push on them and see what happens.
Yep. They open,
Okay.
and so
And
I'll
I'll
let you
walk
go ahead and
inside.
move you guys. Oops. No.
There we go.
Inside.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Isn't that neat? The
Yep.
yeah, so the doors open to reveal a 10-foot wide, 20-foot long hall leading to a brightly lit chapel. The hall is unlit and reeks of mildew. 4 doors, 2 on each side of the hall, lead to adjacent chambers. You can see that the chapel is strewn with debris, and you hear a soft voice from within reciting a prayer. And suddenly the
Right.
prayer is blotted out by an inhuman scream that rises up from beneath the wooden floor.
Lovely. All right. I stride forward, and is the person who's praying got their back to me, or they see me coming?
So as you enter the chapel, you find the chapel is a shambles with overturned and broken pews littering the dusty floor. Dozens of candles mounted in candlesticks and candelabras light every dusty corner in a fervent attempt to rid the chapel of shadows. At the far end of the church sits a claw-scarred altar, behind which kneels a priest in soiled vestments. Next to him hangs a long, thick rope that stretches up into the bell tower. Incidentally, that banging sound it's kind of weird. It like almost adds to the ambiance. It's kind of funny.
That is exactly what I was thinking.
Okay.
Um,
I will mute again if it's a problem.
no, that's fine.
Okay.
It's just interesting how it contributes in that way. So as you're entering the chapel, from beneath the chapel floor, you hear a young man's voice cry out, "Father, I'm starving!" You see the man who is behind the altar looks pretty rough, like he's hasn't been sleeping for a while. His voice is kind of hoarse as he's sort of whispering a prayer to himself. Yeah, he hasn't really noticed you come in.
Right.
He's very occupied by his prayers.
Excuse me. I speak up.
Huh? Yeah.
My name is Josric. My friend here is Honor.
You are.
We're here to arrange for a burial. The burgomaster has passed away, and we're here to make sure that he is buried in sanctified ground.
Kolyan. What happened? Do you know?
We don't know exactly how he died. It does not appear to have been by violence, but we don't have the story.
I imagine
needs to be
Irina
buried.
and Ismark are devastated. Is that why
Yes.
they've sent you? Are they all right?
They are well for now, but we don't have much time. We'd like to get him in the ground by nightfall.
I'm not sure we can manage it before dark. And if we get started on the grave, we can have it ready for a dawn ceremony. The Morning Lord does his best work in the morning. It is in his name, and that is when his power is its strongest. If you would help me to dig a grave today, we can be ready to put him at rest tomorrow in the morning at dawn.
Then let's do that.
You hear another scream, is "Father! Please!" And he kind of winces and cringes at the sound. Yes, dawn. Dawn is when we must do it. We must do it at dawn. He's kind of mumbling. Yeah, so,
So
shall
just
we?
show us where to dig. Honor and I will handle that.
Yes. Very well. And he kind of leads you to one of these windows that at the back. And as you look through the window, the map doesn't extend to show the whole graveyard, but that is what you see past through the window. And he points at like a little sloping hill. It says the Endurovich plot. Uh, the burgomaster's family is buried there on that hill. If you were to dig the grave there, at least 4 feet deep, that he would be with his family.
Do you have
Family.
shovels somewhere?
Family is important. Yes. There are shovels in the wooden shed. If you see just there.
All right, we'll get to that.
Yes. Yes, of course.
I'm just taking a look around through the windows.
Yeah, and so the map doesn't like you. The map only extends through what you can kind of see here. But if we go back to the town map real quick,
Yeah.
if you zoom up to the upper left corner there, you can see that it's a pretty big cemetery there.
Right.
Right.
Yep.
So he is kind of mumbling to himself some more, and he's kind of sat down. You see him fiddling with a holy symbol of the sun, the morning lord, and he kind of starts praying to himself again. Yes, if you need my help, I could help. I could help. It would be good to help someone. At the very least, at dawn we can lay poor
All right, come
Koya
along.
to rest. Do you need my help with the digging, or
Come on.
I can
No,
help.
no, no,
I
no.
can help. Yes.
Come on,
And-
come on, come on.
And,
Let's
and
go.
he kind of follows you out, and he leads you around the outside of the church. Again, like I said, we don't have the map, but he shows you where the shovels are and retrieve them, and leads you to a place where you can dig the grave, and you can see he's kind of making a half-hearted effort, but he seems pretty weak. It's not laziness; it's exhaustion that he's not accomplishing very much in the way of digging.
I'm going to let him make the decision of whether to push himself or not.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, he's kind of working at it. He's not getting very much done, is all.
Yeah. And
So you guys are going to go ahead and dig that grave then?
yeah.
Yep.
Mhm.
All right. So that'll probably take a little while. How about the rest of you back at the burgomaster's mansion? What do you got going on down there?
Well, that is AFK for the moment.
Okay.
Just, I guess, making the preparations. Actually, no, I do have something I want to do.
Yeah.
Sorry.
If you wanted to talk to them some more or something.
Yes.
I'm here. I'm here.
Okay. Good.
I just walked back in. Yeah, so we're
Irina, I'd like to try a couple of things. I can't even get back to the voice anymore. Oh, no. Oh, there we are. I'm back. No problem.
you just need a little mead.
I need a little mead. Oh, pardon me while I grab my mug.
Mead makes him feel more like me.
So, dear, I'd like to try a couple of things to help perhaps ease your wounds and perhaps ease your spirit as well.
Yes. I'm afraid to hope, but a servant of the Morning Lord, I suppose I can trust you.
There's a Temple of the Morning Lord here somewhere in the city, is it not?
The church, yes, Father Donovich.
And has Donovich taken a look at you since you've been contacted by Strahd?
I've not left the house. We're afraid to. If I set a foot out, we'll be assaulted. That's why my brother was looking for someone to help us.
Well then, I'll try a couple of things and see if I can make some easement for you. First, there's this one.
Okay.
See if I can get this to cast.
Okay. Yeah. So as you cast the spell, you see sort of the glowing light of the Morning Lord flow out of your fingers. I assume you're casting it like at her wound on her neck,
Yes.
or
Yes, indeed.
and as this light sort of seeps into her and kind of glows her neck and shoulder a bit, and as it fades, you see, although there are 2 scars that remain, the wound does heal. And she kind of blinks and just says, oh my goodness.
Does that feel a bit better then?
Yes, thank you. I thank you. I don't know what else to say.
Oh, that's more than enough. Now, let me see if I can get rid of the rest of your problem. And I cast buttons.
And she
It's not much, but
yeah.
something.
Well, so she kind of just straightens up and just feels it and just says, I'm so sorry I didn't trust you before. But after the way Strahd has gained entrance by fooling me with magic and the unholy monsters he brings to bear and all of his tricks and spies, it's difficult to trust anyone, but you have shown yourself to be true and good.
Well,
Yeah, if there's anyone you can count on for being good, it's old Perry over here.
oh, well, thank you. I'm not that old, but I'll take it as a compliment.
He looks
Oh, not old.
and she kind of looks and says, so, all of you, you're so, forgive me, I'm just not used to seeing halflings and elves, and how did you all come to travel together? How did you come to be in this place?
Well, Shadow, why
Goblins.
you to explain that?
We didn't like him. We took care of him, and we became friends. TLDR.
I mean, it's more of the fact that they were taking over a small town and it was needing the aid of stalwart folks like ourselves.
We didn't like that. We took care of it. Perry's a little more poetic than I am.
Wow.
Have you eaten properly in a while?
Something at some point.
Well, I mean, we had some food stored. We've been going through it, though. It's these last nights afraid to leave. It's
Say no more. Say no more. Hang on. I'll take care of this. I got us. Hang on. Little jiggery pokery here. This is one of my favorite things to do. Really.
more good berries.
So I make 10 good berries and I pass them out and put the rest
Right.
in.
Ismark and Irina both eat one, and
Give one to Perry,
they
one
both
to myself.
they seem a little stronger, and just like Ismark says, I knew it. I knew as soon as I saw all of you that you had finally come to help us. The Morning Lord has finally answered our prayers and sent someone to help us in these dark times.
I'm not sure he sent me per se, but things are nice anyway. People are nice.
Well, I'm pretty sure that Lathander sent me this way, and if Lathander made me cross paths with them for good reasons, then. Also, these berries aren't too bad, but I'm not sure if I'd make a pie out of them.
No, you'd get a tummy ache. You only want to eat one like every 24 hours, man.
But if I mix them with other berries and other things.
Well,
Imagine
there
the
is
amount of
this
fire.
one berry from my hometown. It makes you see really fun things, but that's not appropriate right now.
I'm going to have to
So-
visit your hometown.
Love it, buddy. So, well, part of it.
And so Irina, as she kind of wanders over and kind of kneels at the side of her father's coffin and just says, "Did you hear all that, Father? We're going to find a way to lay you to rest in a holy place, and I think I may be. These good people may find us a way to keep me protected, like you wanted."
I could do that ritual now.
Would that I could. Not, the thunder gives me vision of many things to come, but not everything.
It's been 3 days. 3 days is a sketchy time.
Come in
Right.
the morning, we'll make sure it happens one way or the other.
All right.
All right, so the let's jump back over to Honor and Jazrik. You've finished digging a grave that Donovich, the father here, declares good enough, and you can see that the sun is starting to dip low on the horizon, and he says, I don't know if you have a place to stay, but it's not safe after dark.
Honor and I are going to make sure that we can get back to the mansion before dark.
Oh yeah. There's
Yeah.
there's time. It's just probably about that time.
Yeah.
But he says, do you have somewhere to stay then? You probably do. I have to be getting back. Bring Kolyan. Bring his body. First light. Wait until you see the sun, or the light at least, and bring him and
We'll be as early
we
as
will
we
lay
can.
him to rest. Not before sunrise. Not before sunrise. Okay. And he kind of absentmindedly wanders off and goes back into the church. And before the doors close, you once again hear, "Father, please, I'm starving."
Totally out of character, but man, that kid could use a good berry.
Well, I think that's where we'll leave it for today. We've had our first session, and it seems like it went pretty well. I think we didn't get into any combat, so we'll see how that
We
plays
lost
out
one
once.
already. I don't know.
Yeah.
This is great.
Where did Julius get off to?
All right. Well, I need to go. This has been
All right.
fun. Thank you very much,
Okay.
Christiana.
Yep.
And
And
hopefully see you
we'll-
next week.
Yep.
Well, so
Thank you.
we'll sort out the scheduling, and offline. So I'll see you all.
Put your tail right in front of the wheel.
All right. So,
Bye.
yep, we're signing off. So, thank you, those of you who are watching, and we will continue at some point in the future.